to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go.
Hello, people, and welcome to pretty much the finals of Top Bracket, right? The semifinals in the general playoffs tournament. Gucci versus EVO. The winner goes straight to the finals. The loser has to go to the bottom bracket and still has a chance to return. Hype match. I think a lot of people are hyped. My name is Rango. I'm joined here by Dutch, my co-host. And yeah, Dutch, expectations. What are you expecting?
I mean, like you said already, it's top finals bracket. So essentially, you say the best two teams left, besides our loser bracket final. But they haven't played for a while, so the expectations could be quite all over the place, I can say.
Yeah, for sure. Both teams probably a bit rusty, maybe. I know from two sides they've been picking up scrims again, just in preparation of this. But I know she hasn't been playing really officials until this game. Now, Evo, I don't know that much about personally, like the inside information on that one. I know they finished Cobalts and I think Valence a bit ago, so I think both teams are kind of off on the official, the high stake games, and it's
Yeah, from what I've heard, from my inside information from the Evo side, they have been like doing way more tryouts with different players than actually scrimming with their normal 5-man roster. So in that sense, Chi and Evo both are like lacking the proper practice for maybe this matchup. But
yeah.
think-
So scrappy fight. Is that what we're gonna expect?
I mean, we expect scrappy fight from Evo anyway. That's kind of the playstyle. If you watched their game previously, they like the skirmish a lot early, and Chi tends to. It's better for them to avoid those early scrappy fights because I think through their laning prowess they can get leads more than the early fighting styles. Maybe be better if they can't get the early lead to give up a Drake or give up an early Herald. If that matters, they can get through the laning phase better.
Yeah, Gucci. From playing against them and playing alongside them a bit, definitely noticed a bit more slower on the ball in the early game. A little less aggressive, proactive. Like they do plays, right? They play for objectives early, but they don't go as much for the early aggression as a team as Evo. Which is gonna be kind of fire ice game here, right? Both teams, different play styles, and we have to see what will be the better part. What playstyle will succeed here? If we're looking at the champion pools, right, from the players, we have a couple picks we know from both sides that are signature, right? Even with Bobo on the Gragas, the Akali for Eon, if I remember, also Bobo, the TF. And then on Gucci's side, we have the Thresh, we have the Jinx, we have the Azir, you know, the signature picks on that side. You think all those signature picks will be banned here, or you think there will be more of a meta-aimed banned?
Especially if you look towards the Evo side and Chi as well. Chi has like the signature picks of the Azir and the Thresh that are probably not going to get through. Maybe the Azir does, but the Thresh I would never expect to get through. And if you're Chi, you're always gonna ban out that flex pick of the Karma. Besides that, I don't really know if EVO have other like super high prio champion picks on the blue side. I expect them to be more reactive in the draft than having a focus on like 1 or 2 definitive champs. The ADC likes plays like 3 ADC, so maybe there's going to be more of an emphasis on picking one of those guys. But I think they're kind of flexible in the draft, both teams.
Yeah, and I mean, as you said, Ori popping off into the team or into the game against your team with the
Yes, that was
vein.
PTSD.
PTSD kicking in for Dutch here. But yeah, Ori definitely been performing well. Came in like 3/4 into the split, but put his mark down for the team, and we have to see how this is going to go. Ori versus Savage. I mean, we talked about this in the article. It said ADC, the matchup. We both feel like it's ADC and mid lane. Ori versus Savage and Eon versus Symphonix. That's the kind of the lanes where the eyes have to be turned to.
I mean, if you look at it like that, what you've expected from this playstyle from these guys, it's going to be mostly focused around bot lane because of their junglers. Because the EVO bot lane gets a lot of jungle attention. Let's say about that. So it's about EVO's but cheat jungler to counter that. And the mid lane is more about the pure 1v1, pure laning, the raw mechanics, raw skill to get to see who goes on top on that one. And the bot lane is more of I feel like a 3v3 instead of only the ADC matchups, like the entire lane plus junglers. That's a big part of that. But my pick goes to the mid lane to watch. I think is the most important one. Who gets the early prio? Who can help their bot lane if they get snowballed on, etc. I think that's the marquee matchup for this series.
Yeah, and if I'm looking at it right, Symphonix more of the thoughtful. I will have a 30 CS lead at 12 minutes, right? From that on, I will carry the game with my gold lead. Eon more of a I go around the map and start plays kind of style. Again, such a clash of styles in these matchups in these teams, which is it going to be the team that adapts better to the enemy team, or is it the team that holds true to their own that will succeed today? That's a big question.
True. I mean, like this word is it's like fire and ice with the difference of play styles. I don't know what you prefer in this kind of meta now because have we hit the durability patch already? I'm not sure.
No, we haven't.
Oh, we haven't. Okay. I think like this scrappy fighting in current meta might be a bit of favor for EVO, but I think it's really depending on draft how you play it out. Because if Chi all drafts late game, EVO gets a snowball early and don't see a way of them coming back, or like don't giving out so much gold that the game becomes uncontrollable for their side. So I think it's according to draft that we can really predict how the styles are going to be involved in this. Like besides like that, because of course, like even in MSI and in tournaments, every team has their own style, their own meta, their own draft. But unless you see the draft itself, champion-wise, you can't really give an edge to someone yet. I think personally.
Yeah, definitely with the meta at the moment. I feel the meta is pretty flexible. Yeah, there are we've seen a lot of different champions this season overall throughout the entire SLE. The hyper carry Jinx meta is slowly disappearing, but still slightly there, right? You still see it once in a while, but mostly being overtaken by stuff like Lethality MF, Lethality Saya. We see
ADC's crying, man.
yeah,
The carries is being gone.
Kaisa going for a more what is it called, like carry build. We saw the AP build at a certain point, but now we see Kaisa going for a more carry orientated build with Kraken and stuff. So on the bot side, I feel like anything can be drafted there. For mid, we've still seen mostly towards the mates, the control mates meta, but I feel like we've seen Eon on the Yasuo with setup of Obsidian on Diana, so more high carry damage.
Like you said, indeed, like he normally likes to play more of the I roam around, but if you give this guy his Yasuo, he will get 15 CS per minute and he will just destroy everyone in the 1v1. I've known this guy for a long time, and his Yasuo is nothing to mess with. This guy is clean as you can be on this champion. If they get a good draft and if it's open, you'll probably see EVO pick this.
Yeah, so definitely a prior pick to keep your eyes on if it gets picked, right? See some nutty Yasuo combos maybe coming out. Outside of that, the jungle matchup. We've seen Obsidian slightly leading towards the carry style junglers, right? Graves, we've seen them on Viego, but we have also seen them on the more tanky side junglers. Even though I do think the carry ones are his better.
I think his utility is better because I don't not to be like rude or anything, but I think his skill set and his play style is not best suited with his team if he plays another carry in the jungle, because you have a very good carry on ADC. If you get a good matchup, you have a very good carry on the mid lane. You have an excellent top lane weak side. So if you can play that facilitating jungler, I think it just suits their team comp and their team style way better. I mean, if you go for early scraps, even a Volibear is still a good early game jungler with his PTA and his damage combo output early. So I prefer to see him a bit more tankier so he can defend his carries as well.
Yeah, so definitely swallow your pride, play for the team type message you're trying to give out here to Obsidian. For at first sight, right? Everything can happen. Maybe they lock in Graves, and we see this man go full counter jungle, 12 CS a minute on Graves, one shot the entire enemy team.
I mean, prior of Graves has been going up actually. So.
Yeah. The monkey we've seen a lot as well. Flexible. I know Chi can play it on both roles. It wouldn't surprise me if Bobo is capable of playing the champ really good into AD comps because of his passive giving him that bonus armor. That stands being a good item as well. But then for top side, what are we expecting? Are we expecting Snooze Fest?
I know Jeff can play those carries, but I know Bobo doesn't really like to play tanks every game, but he is super good on those weak side champions like the Kragas, like the Ornn, even a Gwen, if you can call it a weak side champion because it's so resilient against ganks. It is he is so good on those kind of champs. It might be a bit boring to play, but sometimes you have to play a role inside of the team. But you never know. They might switch up the playstyle, give him the counter pick, give him the carry, and just play around topside.
Yeah, Bobo definitely been performing really well until Ori's initially coming into the game and like these insane games he's been putting it. I think Bobo was always my MVP looking at EVO. Ori definitely contending that at the moment with his last few performances. But yeah, Bobo always been solid.
You don't have ever like a. He's always like the guy that gets a minimum 6. Like always gets the 6.
Yeah.
He never goes to like a 3 performance. He always gets the 6 and up, So like it's super sick.
Yeah. Jeff, I know Jeff is really flexible. Jeff has a lot of different champions that he can play, which might be a strong point for the guys of T. Being able to put Bobo maybe under that 6. But yeah, it's gonna be. I hope it's gonna be a slaughterfest on top lane. I hope we're gonna see some fighting there, especially since we haven't really seen someone put a lot of pressure onto Bobo yet. See how he performs under it.
He's very good at absorbing that pressure. Maybe they shift away from it, like, let's not try it anyway. We maybe not get anything anyway. But I see Brady is put down 10 hydrates. I'll just get a sip of my water.
Okay, yeah, I'll drink some iced tea.
The rest is for casters when the draft starts. I'll just take 1 or 2.
They will need it.
Yeah,
they will need their throats properly lubricated. I hope we're gonna get a best of 3. That's we all hope for silver scrapes, right?
I mean, lately to the hands of my own team, we've kind of seen like stomps almost every game. The last best of 3 we've seen was like 0 enemy, maybe.
Yeah, 0 enemy, I think. But
and that was still kind of I would say kind of a stompy way of a 2-1. Like the two games for enemy were kind of very one-sided. So
yeah. 1 second.
Oh, we can see the brackets.
Oh yeah, the brackets.
The scores are not
are-
there. Okay.
But yeah,
But-
so
Out of my head, Chi runtime was 2-0, right?
Chi runtime was 2-0, yes.
RT1 Chi was 2-0.
2-0. 1-1?
Oh,
Yes,
was it 2-1?
2-1.
Okay, we're
Runtime
wrong.
Gucci was 2-1. Yeah.
Okay, fair bit runtime for taking a game from them. But we see more 2-0s than 2-1s, so we hope we can get like a competitive 2-1 for one
Yeah,
of the
for
sides.
sure. But what are you expecting? No hopium, no copium, nothing. Pure. What's the result? What are we gonna look back at?
I mean, I've got more information on this than anyone, I guess, team-wise, because we've played them the most from
Yes.
Vision's side. So, and I'm gonna be maybe a bit friend biased, but Gucci taking a win 2-1. But EVO's gonna go 1-0 in the series.
Eva's gonna take one game.
EVO's gonna take one game. It's the first game, I think. Then Gucci is gonna bounce back and just play
Yeah.
better.
For me, I see first game as a tipping point. I feel like if Gucci can get that first game, like that first win, I think they will take the series in a 2-0.
Mhm.
But for me, it's if they're gonna take the first win. That's the question for me. Will they be able to adapt to the scrappy system of EVO? That's the question, and
I mean,
I think I agree with you. I think they will not be able to do it in one game, and I think it will also be a 1-2. I think the first game she will need to adapt to
think
this.
true. I think both teams just have to like play up the rust a bit. I think both teams need to play up the rust a bit, and we'll see how that goes.
So I
going
think
to
we
draft?
are almost ready for draft.
Are we ready for
What I
draft?
just heard. Yeah. So
We're handing
me,
over to our casters.
me and Dutch will be heading out, and we'll be doing the analyst desk in between the games here for you guys. Now we're bringing it over to Sanix and Setos. That will do the game casting for you guys. And good luck to the teams.
And good luck to the casters. Let's hope for bangers.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for the introduction. Hello guys from me, Sanix. Obviously, Zathos with me as well.
Hello, hello.
And
Sammy,
yeah,
are you ready? Are you ready for some good games?
yeah,
on.
yeah. Of course, I'm ready. Come on.
I was about
Yeah,
to
we
say.
got the hype in.
I was about to say. They were having a nice, relaxed time. Trying to say how these teams are going to do it, but it's all to these players. We can talk as much as we like. We can have the analysts talk as much as we like, but we are the players. If you are on your day, you will be able to reach the grand finals. It's Gucci Gaming versus EVO. Do you have somebody you would, think is going to win this?
Obviously, look, we heard both the casters say that they think it's probably going to be a 2-1 for Gucci with Team Evo taking the first win. Now, personally, after seeing how Evo performed against Vitagen, who obviously were the best, the team that topped Division 1 and were the favorites going into tournament, I would have my money on Evo this game just because of that performance against Team Vitagen.
I believe it really depends if these teams can really get, the team comp they really want. I've always seen Gucci Gaming going for more of a team fight oriented comp. So if one of these teams is able to get such a strong comp compared to the other one when they get to late game, it should just be over because both these teams know how to execute their drafts.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, look, right, we saw in drafts, especially in regular season, Sovonix, Gucci's mid laner, played a lot of Azir. People were saying this guy's an Azir one trick. Their support local was playing a lot of Thresh. People saying they're one tricks, And obviously going into playoffs, Azir was banned almost every game. So was Thresh. So all those players now kind of showing other picks. Sovonix, for example, didn't play like a champion twice in the whole of playoffs, right? So we might be seeing some repeat picks now. We might even be seeing the Azir if it goes through. So, there's a lot of those different picks that we could be seeing from Gucci. And obviously Team Evo, a lot of Karma, a lot of Gragas on top lane for them. Bobo being a player that just finds phenomenal flanks and just angles for map pressure from top lane as well. So very impressive.
Remember, these are the only two teams in the tournament left who have not lost a game. As we do get into Champ Select right now, we'll have to see if any of the major picks will be getting banned. Gucci Gaming does start with the Karma and thinking about Viego, and Team Evo has decided to ban the Syndra.
Yeah, now obviously, Viego, a really strong pick in the jungle right now as well. If they do decide to ban it out, it seems like it might be Ari. There's a lot of these champions picks that are kind of, just very versatile in what they want to do. Karma being banned out, one of those picks that I did mention before that Bobo does play on top lane. It's also a flex pick. You can play it support, you can play it top, you can play it mid. A lot of lanes you can play it in. And Team Evo obviously banning the Volibear, who's also just a really strong jungler at the moment, one of the stronger ones. A lot of pressure he can provide around the map with good dives, good gank setup, and all of that.
It is looking like the Azir is getting banned right now. The bird is not coming out. And the Volley Bear has been banned, which has been one of the main staples in the SLE, including the Trundle there. So the Trundle won't really be picked as the counter pick, so I wouldn't expect that to come out. As Gucci Gaming is hovering the Kai'Sa, a very strong pick that can engage.
Did they lock it in? It's Kai'Sa champion right now in the meta, pretty strong. We've seen some iteration of Kai'Sa in the past few months, mostly with the AP Kai'Sa, on mid lane. Then you had some AP Kai'Sa on bot lane, but now it's just full on ADC Kai'Sa, Kraken Slayer, and we just see a Xayah in response.
It's back to the 2018 meta of having the Kai'Sa Xayah, the only two champions getting really picked. For me, preferably, I think that was the best meta for ADCs.
I agree. It was the most fun.
As the Wukong
And the Wukong as well.
The Wukong is always spicy. It's looking like Team Evolution is trying to go for a bit more of a team fighting comp in lower elos, and team fighting is just a very simple to execute. You don't really have to do too much with it. You just go in, you engage, and the team follows up.
Yeah, obviously we heard the analyst before saying that Wukong could be a potential pick for Team Evo if Bobo does play it on top. It's also a flex pick, right? You can play it in the jungle. It's kind of the role where Wukong gets played the most right now. And what he brings to the team, there's some armor shred in his kit, the knock up, the CC, the engage, the flanks, especially now going through walls with the invisibility. So it's very strong. And Gucci, on the other hand, decides to just fully pick out their bot lane here with the Thresh to pair with the Kai'Sa. Thresh, a pick that generally we haven't been seeing as much lately in the meta. There was some nerfs to it, kind of falling off, but still provides a lot of value to the team, obviously with the engage on the hooks and the lanterns as well, that just really allow you and enable you to kind of be out of position from time to time and be safe.
The only issue I see with Thresh here is Kai'Sa always wants to engage, and Thresh is usually a secondary engage. With his hook, you're not like a Nautilus, you're not like a Leona, where you can be halfway across the map and still hit a hook, still hit an ultimate. Thresh really needs to find picks on the side, because if he just goes in at an awkward time, he's just going to get popped and killed.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, now it's just, what is, Team Evo going to pick on R3? It's third pick.
Dinar has been picked in right now. We'll have to see if the Wukong is going to go against that, or if Team Evolution wants to swap it out and have something better against it. But it's looking like they have decided to pick the Nautilus. If the Nautilus does hit a hook onto this Kai'Sa, I will be able to CC her down, and that's going to be one dead Kai'Sa in this bot lane.
Yeah, the thing is, right, when you have a Kai'Sa, you also kind of want to pair it down with champions like Nautilus and Leona. So, that Thresh pairing might be a bit awkward in that sense, because Kai'Sa does get the stacks from CC in the team. And obviously with Team Evo picking out that Nautilus, one hook can change the way the lane works. Obviously, I think we're not going to be seeing Lethality Xayah now that we're in topic of bot lane, as we're seeing a few more bans come in, because Lethality Xayah did get a bit of nerf. So we might be seeing Lethal Tempo again back in the meta. So really, truly bringing Xayah back into the proper ADC spot. And ban-wise, we're seeing that Victor ban for Team Evo. So no Victor on the middle of Gucci, and Gucci responding with a Gwen ban, who's just generally a very safe top lane. Does very well into tanks, so Gucci might be looking for something like an Ornn here, possibly, onto B4, B5.
It would be a weird place to put Dinar, but it's definitely possible there. Now, one thing I want to talk about is this Victor pick. Victor is picked so much during these meta and during all these games so far, and I really haven't seen it work out for anyone so far.
Yeah, the thing with Victor, right, it's a very slow champion, and what's happening in SLE, there's a lot of these early game skirmishes, and these just early game fights, and a lot of the games do kind of get decided on gold leads that are generated through the early game, and Victor's generally a champion that you need to get those stacks up, you want to get your E evolve to start getting the lane prios, and to get the Camille lock in here.
The Camille lock-in is very good into the Gnar. Gnar's really good when he has the space, when he's able to, kite in and out of you. And Camille does not let this happen. When Camille gets R, and with her empowered Q, you are not getting away from her. But it's, look, they are trying to counter this with the Cassiopeia. They're trying to keep Team Evolution at a arm's length. You see the Kai'Sa pick, you see the Thresh, the Gnar, the Cassiopeia, with enough range and, enough to stop them. Like, Kai'Sa has E, Thresh has E, and Lantern to get out. Gnar has jump, and Cassiopeia has her ultimate and the W on the floor to stop people from dashing around her.
Yeah, also with the Cassiopeia being locked in there, right? Team Evolution's mid laner, Yeon, he's everyone knows him as the Yasuo player, right? So Cassiopeia also does very well into that Yasuo. And since that champion isn't banned yet and mid lane does have the counter pick, I think that EVO might have been looking for an angle like that. It does pair with the Wukong really well as well, but they are lacking AP if they were to choose that. So we would be seeing an AP mid laner here for Team EVO regardless. And I do think that Cassiopeia pick was there just in case Team EVO does decide to go for the Yasuo. But with the Diana lock-in in the jungle of Gucci here, we have a full comp from them, and Team EVO is hovering the Veigar, who's just generally a very strong mid laner right now and provides a lot of just general spacing on the map.
The thing is, if you lock down this Cassiopeia into the cage, even with the Kai'Sa, with any of these champions, Thresh Lantern doesn't matter. You're not able to get them out of there. So it would be a very strong pick to have right now. But we see both team comps right now. Who do you think is going to win, Gucci Gaming or Team Evolution? Sanix, do you have a pick after this draft?
It just goes both ways, right? Like Team Evolution has that Wukong. You do need to find the angles, and the Camille has the possibility to go for a complete lockdown, right? Well, on the other hand, you do have the Cassiopeia that kind of disables the engages from Nautilus, from Wukong, from Zoe even. Zoe can't use her ult if she's grounded in the Cassiopeia W. So I think that that W from Cassiopeia is going to be really detrimental in how the game plays out, especially if you do decide to fight in choke points. It's going to be hard for Team Evolution to find those angles. But again, if Team Evolution plays with, finds proper flanks from out of vision, it could be really, really good for Team EVO. And obviously on the other side, we have Gnar, who everyone knows is generally, even if the champion isn't as strong in the meta, the amount of just CC he provides for the team and just engages with his ult and W and just how much he can actually stun people for, it's pretty strong. So looking at both these drafts right now, I don't have a clear someone that edged out the other team on draft.
Well, Sanix, I have good news for you. We can finally head to game. So we are about to get in there right now. We are going to be in a prediction up right now. Gucci Gaming versus Team Evolution. You get to pick who you want as we are about to head into game.
I think there's a bit of
we have 18 seconds. Sorry, guys. Management.
There's a bit. We're gonna go into game in around 4 minutes or so because there's also that delay thing. So we were there. We were mentally in the game already.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just imagining the game happening right now.
Yeah, we can see. You see that Nautilus. You see that Thresh. 2 hooks. People that play hook champions most of the time you go solo queue. And you see a Nautilus in the enemy team, and you're gonna spam ping your support in bot lane and be like, be careful, these guys might invade. And obviously Gucci has that Thresh as well, so we could be seeing an invade level 1, possibly, as well, with those 2 hook champions,
Yeah, hook champions are the massive key factors of these 2 team comps. If you're as a support, you have so much influence on the game. If you're able to get a good engage for your team, even if you're not the stronger team fight, if it's such a good engage, you can still win it. And with 2 team comps that are this close right now, anyone can take this. Anyone can win any team fight if they get a good engage.
Yeah, obviously. Again, I mean, we were saying before the game, especially in the analyst desk, Rengo and Dutch were talking about, the kind of matchups to look out for is the ADC and the mid lane matchup, right? Obviously, Ori last time round against Vitagen completely popped off on the Vayne in game 3. And obviously the mid lane matchup, Savonix and Gucci against Eon, who are arguably, besides Thais, 2 of the best mid laners, 3 teams left in SLE right now, so these are by far the best mid laners in the league right now. So that matchup is really important, and obviously what I like the most here in EVO is they put Bobo on a Camille. So far we've seen Bobo mostly play those tank and more supportive champions in top lane, so now he's getting put on that Camille, and he's been very good at finding flanks and just angles onto the whole map from top lane, and Camille's just a champion that really wants to do that and just thrives when you manage to find those angles.
Now, one thing I want to talk about is the Zoe pick instead of Veigar. I would have much preferred Veigar with this team comp right here, because imagine if Gucci Gaming does try and engage with the Gnar ultimate, Veigar can really just shut them down and make sure that the enemy team can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have Zoe. It's kind of out of theme. I feel like with what they want to do, unless they do opt for the lethality Zaya, right? Then you do have the poke, and then you can follow the poke up with the Wukong engage. But obviously Zoe's a champion that does want to poke. But especially once you get 2 items on Zoe around the level 11, level 13, you hit a bubble, you hit a full, paddle star, whatever it's called, onto someone, especially if it's a Kai'Sa or a Cassiopeia, Diana possibly. That champion is going to be halved in HP, and then you can really start looking for deeper vision, for objectives. So I think it's going to be crucial if the Zoe finds something, but I would agree with you that I would personally prefer Veigar in this team, as I do think he might have brought a bit more to the team comp as a whole.
But overall, I think in this game, we really have to look at this bot lane. Savage Loco versus Ori and Kill. This is the place where it's going to be explosive in the early game. When you have 2 hook champions, you know something is going to happen. Both junglers need to get level 6 before they're really able to do anything. But in the bot lane, they need only 1 hook and it could be a kill for them. So I'm really expecting these junglers to be focusing bot side.
Yeah, and it would be funny now, we're saying this, right, with junglers focusing bot side, but it would be quite funny if it's just going to be kind of a snooze fest on bot and just, nothing happening. But, kind of the difference between Thresh and Nautilus, right? I did mention it before that Thresh provides that survivability with the Lantern, so you can kind of position a bit differently. Obviously, you can get punished for it, but, you can just place a ward on the Lantern, whatever. But Nautilus is kind of a champion that does want to, as you said as well, does want to be more of a primary engage over the Thresh, who's more of a secondary engage, right? So Nautilus might be that champion that does look a bit more for the plays on the map, rather than, just sitting in bot lane and protecting the ADC.
Sanix, I
Tell me.
have a question.
Right? Ask away.
Are you prepared? Are you prepared for the finals?
For the grand finals, or for these ones?
For these,
I'm ready for both. I'm ready for both.
I was about to say, because this one, we are literally watching the 2 best teams in SLE.
Yeah, obviously, let's not forget Vitagen, right? They're still in the bottom bracket finals right now. Still Division 1 first seed. And, their loss against EVO was after 1 month of basically not playing official games. So we can't discount them out. But right now, these 2 teams are on top of SLE.
Mm-hmm. Cannot wait to watch them. Everybody, we have about 1 minute and 20 seconds before we get into the champ select and who will be getting in game. I'm not really... I'm thinking about this mid lane right now. Savonix versus Yeon. How do you feel about Cassiopeia versus Zoe? Because Cassiopeia usually has to push, later on in the game as well. It seems like Cassiopeia will be able to move first, but having a double AP Diana Cassiopeia against a AD AP, I really wouldn't want to take this fight if I was Gucci Gaming in the 2v2.
Yeah, as well. I mean, all that double AP, but also Kai'Sa, has quite a lot of AP damage in her kit. Obviously, Kai'Sa will be played full AD, I hope. But yeah, there's a lot of AP damage on the side of Gucci, and obviously Team EVO, the mid lane matchup, I think, is a bit Cassiopeia favored. Once you hit that Q on Cassiopeia, you gain the movement speed, you can kind of chase down the Zoe. And Zoe doesn't really have much when it comes to trades, right? You don't really win out the trades of Zoe unless you, I've never seen Yeon Zoe before. I don't recall if he played it in SLE so far, but if there is someone that's very proficient on Zoe, that champion is just a pain to deal with. But I do still think Cassiopeia edges out the lane when it comes to trading. So yeah, as I said, Gucci Gaming having a lot of just magic damage on the whole team. But on the other side, we have Camille, Wukong, who are 2 champions that can utilize that stance. Both champions can utilize items like Force of Nature and just general magic resist items that are very good in the game right now. So there could be a lot when it comes to itemization that does actually, decide the game here.
It just really depends if Gucci Gaming is able to peel off the engage from Team Evolution, because they don't just have to disengage a Nautilus, they have to disengage a Nautilus, a Wukong, and even a Camille on top. And if they're able to stun anyone, the Zoe bubble afterwards, there's going to be at least minimum 1 dead player on the side of Gucci Gaming, making it an easy 4v5 fight for Team EVO.
Yeah, and we said it before, if that Wukong does get a nice angle, he might just knock up the whole people. And as you said, Thresh Lantern can only save 1 person, right? And you do want that to be the Kai'Sa. But you do have the Kai'Sa ult that can just re-engage. And if you kind of look at the comp, right? you do have the Diana ult to go in, you do have the Cassiopeia ult, you do have the Nard to go in, and Kai'Sa ult can just kind of jump in as well, right? So the both teams kind of just want to go full on at each other, and we might have a situation where both teams just kind of double ace even. You know, I want to see a double ace, but anyway, talking about double aces, the game, we're in it now. We're in it. So I hope everyone got their snacks, got their drinks, because I think we're in for a banger series here.
Everybody, just to remind you, this is the finals. These are two teams who have not lost yet. Both of these are the best that SLE can produce. If they go down, they go to the bottom finals, and they have to win a game to get to the grand finals. It's looking like Gucci Gaming is going for something in the bot lane, while there is just a 5-point coming out of EVO. A pretty simple start for both teams.
Yeah, so obviously Gucci Gaming dropping that ward on bot side, Thresh swapping out for the sweeper, well, 5-point. So we will just be seeing a standard start here. Nothing special, you know, game ones either going to be very bloody or, you know, kind of chill. So I think what's going to be important, you know, you did mention before that you think both junglers will be playing for the bot side. So we see Diana is moving up to the top here, is looking to start on her blue and pathing towards bot. Might be looking for some deep vision here, no, just towards the Tribush. And obviously Wukong, surprisingly, is going to start bot here. And that ward in the enemy jungle will give them the whole info they need. They have the enemy jungle fully worded out here, so very nicely done from EVO, and they will be having all the information as well in regards to bot lane actually playing safe, because they will know that Diana's pathing there.
Now, they know Diana did start top side as well. We do also have a ward onto the Raptor camp as well on the bot side for them, so they are able to see what way she will be passing, if she's going to stay top side or if she's going to pass bot side right now. It's looking like Camille did take the ignite top side, which does mean that she will be a little bit more scared from ganks, but definitely does have more pressure in this top lane fight.
Yeah, and obviously having that ignite is very good, right? You see the Diana pathing away from you, so you know that you're not in really any immediate danger at the start of the game, and you have your jungle pathing towards you as well. So we could be looking at a potential kill in a minute or so on top lane, especially if the wave will be set up correctly. I do think Nar might have Mega by the time Wukong paths up to top lane here, but, you know, again, that ignite will be adding that extra amount of true damage onto the Nar that they just might need.
It is also looking like there is a cleanse in the mid lane for Savonix, allowing it so if he does get stunned up, maybe he goes to sleep, gets a little bit tired, he can instantly wake up and is able to stop a lot of the damage and maybe even a gank.
Yeah, you know, maybe he said, look, I don't need a pillow on mid, I'll just take cleanse. You know, I won't be taking a long nap, I'll just be like, you know, just kind of doze off for like a slight, you know, just a few milliseconds, and then I'll just cleanse and run away and just not lose my health.
Gucci Gaming does have the push in the bot lane right now. They could set up going for a cheat recall, maybe getting a call onto their ADC, or maybe the hook does that. No, nothing coming from the hook. Just, you know, he's testing the waters right now.
Yeah, so obviously getting that lane shoved in, they might just be looking for vision here onto the bot side river, maybe deeper vision, bot side scuttle, you know, coming up. As we do see a bit of trading up here in the top lane, and Wukong might be looking for a gank.
Guys, remember, this is a big wave. If Wukong goes to this, Nar may be able to turn it by how big it is. He is trying to get this in. Wukong is looking. Just standing in the bush. He's hunting for it right now. Remember, he does not have E, but does have Flash. Wukong gets some damage off. Obsidian's dealing huge damage. This looks like it's only going to be the Flash out of Jeff. Good trade at the start for Team EVO. We'll have to see if they can punish this.
Yeah, a very good trade. Obviously, you know, Jeff did a nice job getting that wave shoved in. I don't know if they knew exactly what side Wukong started in. I'm presuming they did. So getting that slow push, getting that wave in, and just allowing himself a cheater recall did kind of save him there, because if the wave was still not under tower, he probably would have been dead there, especially by using his E the way he did. So EVO getting the flash, especially on a lane that has Ignite on it as well, is very, very good for Team EVO here.
EVO did spot out that they did go for the bottom skull crab by the ward in the river right now. It is looking like Logog is going for the reset right now, just making sure his jungle or his mid lane does not get, you know, killed.
Yeah, so obviously both junglers full clearing. Obsidian on the Wukong didn't yet reset. He's doing the Krugs right now, while Diana in the meantime did get the reset off, is back on the map, pathing towards top. So I think we will just be seeing another full clear, you know, top to bot. Does get the full completed magic boots. So that will be some more damage in the early game for the Diana.
Definitely see now both junglers have seen each other. It's looking like Wukong, he's trying to do a little bit of a stare down, but nothing's going to come of it. And it's looking like both junglers will be going back to farming.
And yeah,
It's going to be
Nautilus.
very soon.
Nautilus moving up to mid here, getting his reset off. It will be cancelled though, I think, by Sovonix as that bush is warded. Just looking for a small trade. And as you said, Dragon is coming up, so I think we might be seeing both teams here looking for bot side. Diana still around top though, is not clearing down to bot just as fast as Wukong does get the reset off, does get the Sheen, does get the Ruby Clister, so that's a lot of damage already. Especially 1Q from Wukong will hurt now with that Sheen, and he is moving down towards bot.
It's looking like the Zoe mid lane is getting more pressure than Sovonix in the mid lane, which is quite surprising. I was expecting the what is it? The Cassiopeia to get more pressure in the early game.
Yeah, the thing with Cassiopeia, right, you do kind of want the tier because you do have a bit of mana issues early on in the game. I don't know if he's running Mana Flow Band or not. There's a thing sometimes Cassiopeia's run with Conquer. I'm expecting he's running Presence of Mind to have a bit of that mana regen, mana sustain in lane. But yeah, you know, no TP on the Cassiopeia also means that he can't really get a reset off the way he wants to. He needs to shove the lane in. So now without having that mana, you would need a bit of jungle pressure to just push out the wave so you can actually just crash it and reset without losing any XP or CS.
We do see both junglers are in the bot side. We'll have to see if anything's going to come of this.
Yeah, obviously Dragon is up as well, and on top we're seeing a trade.
Huge damage coming out. Ultimate is still available for the Camille, but it's looking like he doesn't want to use it yet. As EVO does start up the Drake, Loco does spot that they have started it.
I don't think this is really an angle for Gucci to contest the Dragon, right? Obviously that everyone is there on the side of Gucci, but Cassiopeia doesn't have that much mana at her possession, so Gucci is just going to be dropping this, but Logok just flashes in the pit, and
he does get landed out, so it will not be a kill with the Team EVO. And this game, they're playing it quite safely. Both teams, they're not really trying to do anything unless it's a surefire win for them.
yeah, that Diana flash in the pit, it was you know, respectable. I'd respect that play. But obviously it didn't work out, and luckily they had the Thresh. I think that did enable them to look for that. But yeah, it was very risky.
The only issue with this now is Logok will be going over to level 6 very, very soon, and he won't have the ultimate to try and get off a gank with a flash on it.
We are seeing boots on Dinar, I think.
This is going to go into the still plated caps to try and make sure that Bobo doesn't have kill pressure on him, even with the ignite.
Yeah, obviously, you know, the steel caps really do disable some of that damage that Camille has. But then again, it is just straight up true damage. It's just a Cho'Gath ult on your Q, especially in the late game. So that Camille is going to start to hurt. Having that ult up, Nar will luckily have his flash up in the next few minutes, or in the next 30 or so seconds, I feel like. So that will be good for Nar, because, you know, with the Wukong, once he gets 6, there's a lot of kill potential on top lane.
Definitely there. Logok is not there in the mid lane as the bubble does not land. Sovonix dealing huge damage in the mid lane. He's getting so much damage onto the Zoe. He gets first blood. Is he going down? A flash from Obsidian means one dead Sovonix, and it's 1 for 1. That's really well played from Sovonix there. Able to get one from the gank in the mid lane.
Yeah, it was very nicely played. Obviously, understanding, you know, the limitation of the champion, stacking up the Conqueror. Used up his ult, landed it very nicely as well. Unlucky for Yeon that his bubble did miss. But yeah, again, nicely played from Sovonix, trading 1v2. And top, we're just seeing a big trade.
Big trade is coming out right now. It's looking like this Nard's really fighting back now. In the start, it was looking like Camille had all the pressure in the lane, but Bobo is just not able to keep up with the range that Nar has.
Yeah, and Nar will be looking for a reset.
Wukong is looking for him right now. Is he able to stop it? It's looked like Obsidian does not find him, and he may be going for this Rift Herald now.
Yeah, but look at Diana. Diana is close to the Herald here. So if they do spot out the Wukong, this might be a pretty bad spot for him, as the Camille is half mana, actually bordering very low mana, with a bit of missing HP, as Wukong does get spotted out, and I think he is smart and just leaves the Herald, you know, let it live for a bit longer.
Yeah, Sovonix was there and was able to get there first, so Wukong really just wasn't able to do it. He just didn't have the pressure from his top lane or his mid lane to really help him with the Rift Herald.
Diana here looking for a potential gank on mid lane. Yeon just flashes out because Thresh was there as well. Didn't even spot the Thresh out, but Thresh was looking for a gank mid. Yeon flashes early, which does save him because Diana was just around the corner as well.
EVO kill did just finish his wards. A lot more wards will be coming out from Team EVO, hopefully making sure they won't get any ganks coming their way, as we have about a minute or two coming up to next Drake, which will be the big place they're fighting. Obsidian's looking. Savonic does not have ultimate up right now. Huge damage coming out as he gets the ult off again. There's huge damage, but just not enough.
Yeah, and that was a very early cleanse from Savonix as Diana's looking for mid here.
There's a Zhonya's coming out from Yeon right now. He does have the R up, but just isn't able to get out. Is that almost a double kill? Obsidian's Q is dealing huge damage in these team fights.
Yeah, that's just the Sheen, especially with the stack Conquer. The amount of damage that's going to be coming out from that Q is just insane. But yeah, obviously, Savonix does misplay it a little bit. I think he was anticipating the bubble earlier, cleanses it. Obviously, cleanse gives you tenacity as well, so it wasn't as bad, but it was just a bit too early pulling the trigger a bit. It was kind of a anticipation cleanse as well, you know, just want to predict it and cleanse it as fast as possible just so you have the ability to get out. But again, they do trade one for two, so with Dragon coming up now, you know, Diana will be getting the reset off, has the Hextech alternator, is pretty close to the Proto build. On the other hand, we do have the Wukong with Divine Thunder though, so that Q will be dealing even more damage right now.
It's looking like the bot side of EVO is resetting right now. We'll have to see if they are looking for the Drake when they come back, or if they're going to be going for the Rift Herald. It's looking like they are just going for bot lane right now. We do see Gucci Gaming's jungler up in the top side, maybe looking to clear this ward.
Yeah, and obviously, right, we have Dragon coming up, so I think EVO might be looking to stack Dragons. I don't really know what Dragon will be coming up, as Lolgog is starting that Herald. He's just pulling it out of the pit in case EVO does have vision, so I think this will just be a trade. Dragon for Herald. Gold lead is not really anywhere there, but EVO does have the Dragon advantage 2-0 after this one.
Obsidian will be trying to take down second Drake right now. Team EVO just slowly getting a bit of a lead over Gucci Gaming right now, having a 0.5k gold lead, which doesn't seem like too much, but it's looking like Gucci Gaming is trying to counter this by getting the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I wouldn't really say uncharacteristic, but it is bordering that for Team EVO here, because their games so far in playoffs have been much more, you know, just explosive and fight orientated, right? They weren't really as slow paced as this game is right now. So you know, Team EVO playing a bit of a different playstyle, and it does seem to be working with those dragons. But once it gets to the team fights, I think that's where both teams will shine with the comps they drafted for themselves.
Zoe was hovering down the bot lane right now. They may be looking for a dive. It's looking like they are just training, but you have to look at this Cassiopeia in the bot lane. It is a 3 versus 2. If Wukong gets shot down by this Cassiopeia or by the Kai'Sa, this could be very devastating for Team EVO. He does flash out, does have the W. Hook still up for Loco. He doesn't have flash to get out right now. And the TP coming out from Jeff is one dead Wukong.
Yeah, that is 600 gold in the pocket of Danar there, picking up the shutdown. And meanwhile on the top, I think Camille is just pushing out the wave, trying to get it to crash in. Obviously, when they did position on bot lane there, Kai'Sa did get zoned out of a bit of XP and gold, as we see a bit of a gold lead on Ori as ADC, but we might be seeing a dive here in mid.
Hook does land. He's going to be one dead mid laner, and it really just opened up for Gucci Gaming here. Having the play work down bot side, bringing up your bot lane to the mid lane with your jungler, able to get the Rift held down. Again, Savonix, a massive lead. This man is scary on this pick. He already was able to get a 2v1. Now he's got some gold under his belt. We'll have to see what happens. They are looking for Bobo, but he does have E over the wall if he needs to escape.
Yeah, and obviously getting that Herald in mid, but they might be just looking here.
Savonix is in a sticky situation. W does come out. Obsidian is in no man's land. No W up, and that's one dead Obsidian. Everything's falling apart for EVO right now.
Yeah, they had just a minuscule gold lead of 300 to 400 gold, and that's just now swung in 1.3k for the side of Gucci here. So Team EVO going from that really slow pace game to just being a bit out of position, just getting caught out, and Gucci doing good to capitalize on their mispositioning and picking up those kills.
I want to quickly talk about this top lane right now. We were saying that Bobo did have this Ignite in the top lane, but having 2 kills over to Jeff already, this Ignite doesn't really matter. How are you meant to defeat an enemy player who's already got 2 kills on you?
Yeah, I thought for a moment that we might be seeing a fight there once the Mega run out. But yeah, I feel like there's not been enough attention given to this top side of Team EVO, right? You are playing with that kill potential on top, but you're not really playing for it. So I think there is a bit of lack of coordination there for that top side. But I think it will play a factor in the later stages of the game, especially if the Ignite will go on the Cassiopeia, who does have a lot of healing, especially with the Conqueror later on in the game, and a lot of sustain in the fights.
Symphonics did tick over to level 11 right now. This is one of the huge damage threats on the side of Gucci Gaming.
Yeah, and obviously here we see bot lane tower that will be taken for the side of EVO, so it's a bit of a recompensation for what happened earlier in the game. It is first towers. Meanwhile on top,
Jeff is looking in the top lane. Ignite does come out, and the flash from Jeff just wasn't enough as the tower shot does hit him right there, and that is massive for the side of Team EVO. Bobo is able to maybe take over the top lane right now, maybe give them a damage there on the side lanes, which they really need, as they seem to be losing these 4v4 fights in the bot side.
yeah, we were talking about how that Ignite is just, maybe not the most optimal choice here, but again,
It does look like the Nautilus has been getting picked off. Sonius does come out. EVO Ori is in no man's land. Does have the flash over the wall. He's trying to kill Logog, but just isn't able to. And that's another two kills over to Savonix.
yeah, I just want to point out that Ori's, he had a shutdown. He's been playing this game very, very good as well, picking up the first tower on bot lane. There's a lot of plates, a lot of gold in his pocket, especially he has almost 10 CS per minute now. Or, I mean, he does have 10 CS per minute, 20 CS advantage on the Kaisa, and yeah, it's 8.7 on Ori, as well Savonix doing.
This CS number 9.2 per minute. How insane is that?
That is very, very good from everyone basically in the game, except for obviously the supports are kind of chilling. They don't really have to farm. Pretty chill.
Don't
Pretty
insult a
chill.
support main. You know I'm a support main, man. I play Bard. You want why Milo boosted?
But no. Just start playing play with an ADC that plays Senna, and all of a sudden you'll be forced to farm. Play solo queue up as support, and you'll have ADC
Don't
picking
scare
and
me.
be like, I'm playing Senna. Let's do fasting Senna. How would you take that?
I would be scared for my life. I wouldn't know what to do. But they are definitely hunting for Savonix right now. It's looking like they will be giving up this bot lane dragon right now. But they are looking for this top side. Nard does have 2 kills and he does have rage bar, so we'll have to see if they're able to do anything. This tower dive is looking like they are ready to go. Obsidian is looking, but they just don't have a wave. They're just wasting so much time here, and they've decided that they aren't going to do anything. It's just wasted a ton of time. This is just a full-on win for Gucci.
Yeah, it is. It is a full-on win for Gucci, and I think the biggest win for Gucci was when the Soul was, when it was Cloud Soul, because EVO stacking those first 2 dragons pretty early on in the game. Was kind of hoping for probably a strong Soul. Obviously, you get the Mountain and Hextech off the board, so you do kind of want to get the Infernal Ocean at that point. But once it's Cloud Soul, you do want to alter your game plan unless you do want to get the Elder on the map as fast as possible. But considering that we're kind of behind in gold as well.
The ult does come out from Nautilus, hooked down as well. Just so much CC, isn't able to take the Lantern. Savage finally able to take the Lantern. Logog does re-engage with the ultimate, but both teams just isn't dealing enough damage as the Sleepy Trouble Bubble just barely misses, and it's going to be a 0 for 0 in this team fight. But Logog is on the outside. He is hunting again with Loco. The TP does come out. Nautilus does stop his reset. Everybody is up right now. Massive ultimate trying to come out from Jess, but the flash away from Ori means no one's going to die.
Yeah, I feel like the game is, even though there is a 1k gold lead for the side of Gucci, it's still very evenly matched, and either team could take it in a fight right now. So it's very on edge. It's the whole course of the game is right now. One misstep from either team. Savage almost gets hit by the bubble there, but as I was saying, one misstep from either team could just result in pretty big gold loss.
Over the wall, Bobo is in no man's land right now. The hook does land. That is one dead Thresh. That is the power that can come out from the Camille. There is another engage coming out onto Logo. And just this Wukong's damage. This is what happens when he gets lead in the early game. But look at Jeff's rage meter. He is hunting. He does get trouble bubbled, so he isn't able to do anything. Huge damage coming out from Yeon. Savonix is trying to do something, but Ori's pace is just not able to get onto him because of it.
Yeah, and that was a 2v2, right? They traded supports and they traded jungle and top lane. So, again, it's just gold stays even. Maybe EVO gets 100, 200 gold out of that. But, was very deep from Bobo, and Yeon did very good to come back on it with the bubble. As we see the gold difference across the game, it's been pretty. Yeah, it's been pretty even for the whole game so far. I know EVO had that one stint where they were a bit ahead in gold, but so far, even though there is that 1K gold lead, that spike I think I'm seeing is not. It didn't happen. That's false. There was no 7.6K spike.
Somebody just got a little Christmas present for about a day, and then it just left.
Yeah, just for a few seconds.
Yeah, they're just like, ADC, you want to feel useful, here's a 10 million gold. Oh wait, we'll take it back now, thank you.
Just a small loan of 7.6K.
Yeah, exactly, that's what happened. I would love to see where the actual gold is, so we'll see if we can get that up in a second, see what champions really have it right now. As we were talking about this, Savonix does have most of it on him right now. 8.9k, he has a 1.4k gold lead on his enemy mid laner and anyone else in the game.
Yeah, what I find really worrying though is remember how prominent and proficient the Wukong was in the early stages of the game. He was 3-0 at the point, right? And looking at the gold lead, he's just third at the bottom of everyone's gold so far. So had that early presence, early map pressure, but he just is nowhere right now where it comes to gold.
Obsidian, I'm quite surprised by. He did get 3 kills early in the game, but he just isn't able to find much more than this. He's been really trying to gank more than farming. That's why his gold is a little bit less than the rest. But if he's able to get some good CC off in this team fight, he will be doing his job. As there was a small engage in the bot lane, but Bobo just wasn't able to find anything on Jeff.
Yeah. With that Camille, especially, we saw it before in the earlier fight. We saw Yeon capitalize on it, but if he does lock down someone, it might just be very dangerous.
Did hit it. Sleepy Bubble Trouble does come out, and the cleanse is getting used by Savonix, meaning that he doesn't have it. Obsidian, is he okay? It's barely, but does have to use the ultimate. The ultimate does come out. It's looking like they're just using ult for ult as a TP does come out near Savonix. Logog is in a dangerous position. His ultimate does get 2-man, but they both dodge it right now. Huge damage. Savonix does get hit. This is massive. Ori in the backside dealing so much damage as his team just isn't dying to this, barely dodging everything. They are on the run. Gucci Gaming, they were in the lead for so long in this fight, but Team EVO has finally found something as their top laner is not there for them. And EVO could be looking for the ban right now.
Yeah, and again, that was just a very, long fight taken from EVO. Bobo's TP. Nice response from Savonix, getting that ult off straight off, but yeah, it just wasn't enough in the fight, but EVO has to back off a Baron here. They don't have enough damage to do it, and they will be losing that bot side tower, so it wasn't as bad for Gucci as it could have been, as the gold lead just, again, stays on 1.2k gold for the side of Gucci here.
Yeah, even with a fight as explosive as that, only a few people died for both teams. I was expecting, a little bit more chaos coming out of this. This is just showing how careful they're playing these team fights. They really don't want to be losing this game over one team fight.
Yeah, and we are seeing some items getting completed, right? With Savonix, 3 items already. Has the Seraphs, has the Rylai's, and of course the Leandris is mythic. Gucci picking up the second dragon of the game. 2 clouds for them right now. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Zoe just completed the second item. Yeon is 2 items only right now, so he's really far behind when it comes to itemization here. Meanwhile, on the other hand, ADC, Ori, doing a lot of work this game. Surprisingly, actually, I didn't notice this up until now. Usually you see Lethal Tempo Xayah, he's opting for Hail of Blade Xayah, so that's quite interesting to see.
Hail of Blade Xayah is usually picked right now. It does have a lot more damage in the early game. However, Lethal Tempo is a lot better in the late game, as you're able to get a lot more auto attacks off, as the team fights do take longer than in the early game. But we really need to see if they're going to try and do anything on EVO in the mid lane right now. Because take a look at the jungler Logod. He can get a big 3-man ultimate, but he gets re-engaged on right now. He's just getting CC'd and stunned up, and that is one dead player. As Kill is trying to be a little bit, over-aggressive right now. And just isn't able to have his team follow up there, as they are looking for the Baron right now.
Yeah, Jeff also moving up towards the Baron from bot lane. But he is in Mega Form right now, and that Mega Form will expire. So there will be a big cooldown before they can re-engage, and that Baron is quite melting right now. It's already half HP, and I don't think Gucci has a response for this Baron here.
Jeff doesn't even have the rage bar to do anything right now. The Nautilus hook does not land. Nautilus is in a little bit of a sticky situation. Huge damage does come out. Baron does go over to EVO, but they are on the run. It's a 4v4 right now. Loco is a little bit low. Team EVO is at about half HP, all of them. Savonix, though, or Savonix, he is on his way. He has huge damage. Massive ultimate coming out. Getting one man stun. The ult does come out from the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is asleep right now. Huge damage. That is one dead ADC. That's a 2020 ADC. If I've ever seen one, Jeff does still have the rage bar right now. Is he able to find anything? The hook does land. The W as well. The R as well. It's all up to Ori against Savonix. Who could deal enough damage right now? Savonix, is he able to stop it? Is he able to change the course of the pace of the game? As he does do it. And that is going to be a team fight win for Gucci Gaming.
Yeah, and Savonix are on the flank, just they're getting it off, flash ulting, actually landing the stun onto someone. I think it was very, very awkward, the angle that he actually did get stunned. But yeah, very nicely done from Savonix there. EVO picking up the Baron, getting that 1.5k gold lead for the whole team. But, you know, Gucci kills everyone with the Baron buff. And would you look at the gold lead? 600 gold now for the side of EVO. Again, you know, nothing big, but the gold lead is kind of staying quite stale, and Savonix is just rich.
Look at that money he has, 12.2k. The problem is, Savonix may be really good for Gucci Gaming, may be really strong, but look at the two players just below him. Yeon and Ori, the two main carries for the side of EVO, are just slowly behind him. It's just looking like Gucci Gaming only has one main carry on their team for this game.
Yeah, obviously, you know, not a... Look at the Kai'Sa, look at the Diana. Obviously, Logog with the Diana still doing a lot of damage, but he does have the Zhonya second, right? So there's a lot of damage that you are actually missing when you decide to optimize, itemize a bit defensively like that. So, you know, there could be a lot more damage coming from that side, but I don't think they really need it. If they get just one fight, you know, win a choke point or something, it would just be enough damage to just melt the whole side of EVO, because they don't really have any tanky front lines. You know, the Nautilus is on top, Jeff.
He is a little bit low, but Savonix is coming up, trying to save the day for his team. Wasn't able to get the E down, and look at that burn damage. Savonix is trying to take Gucci Gaming on his back and win them this game. They may have been slightly behind for most of this game, but he is coming back, and he's proven it's like he has 4 full completed items.
Yeah, 4 completed items. Obviously, you know, Cassiopeia can't really buy boots because she's a snake. Where's a snake gonna put boots, you know?
Maybe on the hand. Have you ever done that?
I mean, I have, but I didn't proceed to walk on the hands then, you know? So,
Well,
I'd rather wear gloves at that point. You know, maybe they should add an item for Cassiopeia where it's like gloves. So you'd have like Berserker's gloves and Sorcerer gloves and, you know, more of a glove items for Cassiopeia specifically.
Well, we'll have to see, as Logog is slightly out of position, but is able to get out with the jump right there. Hook does land, but nobody is really able to follow up. The TP does come out. This is going to be a 5v5 fight. Jeff does not have enough rage bar right now, as Camille is looking over the wall for something. He's trying to get a little bit with the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Obsidian is already chunked to about half HP. He's trying to heal it up as much as possible. Drake is about to spawn. EVO does have the bear position here. Chi Gaming has to find a way into this place. They are going through the river right now. This team fight could decide the game, as they do engage onto Yeon. Yeon's ultimate does allow him to get right out, as the ultimate or the Drake has been started. Savonix is the player to watch, though. We'll have to see
if
he's
big
able
star from Yeon
to carry it. Right now, Loco has been hit by the star, and the Sleepy Trouble Bubble does land. Somebody's going to have to block this. It's looking like it barely doesn't hit at 2000 HP, and it does go to the side of Team EVO, as it's looking like they are on it, as the cleanse does come out. Ori does go in. Savonix does try and hit a stun. It's looking like an absolute big team fight coming out from both teams. Savonix on the side does get ulted by the Nautilus. Isn't able to do too much. He's onto Yeon right now. It's all if this player can do something. He doesn't have any poison on anyone. He won't deal too much damage, as he just gets taken down. But you have to see how many players he took with him, taking it a 3v3 for both teams.
Yeah, it's again, both is quite even, but you here with the bubble and the star just getting the kill on the Kai'Sa with the shutdown, so that's just gold on him. And now this is swinging a bit in EVO's favor, I feel like, as the gold is getting to that even point. 100 gold on the side of Gucci. If we could pull up the gold graph for the whole game, I think we would just see a nice steady graph for gold on both teams.
Just look at that. Yeah. One team wins one fight, the other team wins the other fight. They have about the same goal. They just really can't pick.
Yeah, and that gold lead is kind of going into EVO's favor right now, as Eon is doing work with that Zoe right now. Landing those stars, landing those bubbles is just a lot of damage coming out from the side of EVO right now.
We were trying to say that we would have preferred a Veigar mid instead of the Zoe in the mid lane, but he's really showing why this won't work, as a hook does stop kill from Reset. He does miss the lantern as well, and it's looking like he will just be able to walk out.
And that was dangerous with that hook. If that would have hit, kill would have been dead, and that would have possibly opened up Baron, as that is spawning in the next minute or so. But yeah, as you were saying, the Zoe or the Veigar. I was a bit skeptic of the Zoe. It's a champion that is very hard to pilot, but I think Eon's shown that it's, you know, he can do it. We do have another Zoe player in SLE. I think it's Vitagen's mid laner. He plays that champion very efficiently.
Engaged in the mid lane right now. Massive Diana ultimate coming out, but it only hits the support, meaning that nothing will be coming off this. That's a big ultimate down, as we do see Lord Dominic's. Lord Dominic's.
Yeah.
What can I
You're
say?
a support player. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the thing does.
of course.
It's a
normal.
Sleepy Trouble Bubble coming out, barely missing Diana right there, as the lantern will get him to safety.
Yeah, and Sovonix on the flank. No vision on him, but
Big ultimate coming out, Bobo onto the backline right now. Cassiopeia is right in the back trying to deal damage, but that's just one tanky Nautilus she has to get through before getting to anyone else. Sovonix, is he able to do it? Ori versus Sovonix, the two players with so much damage. Flash does come out, ultimate does come out. Sovonix is dealing huge damage, but it just isn't enough as his full team is dying around him, as the Sleepy Trouble Bubble does come out, and he is really doing work in these team fights.
yeah, and you know, before the game we were saying I wouldn't mind seeing a double ace, and the way these team fights are going, I think it actually is quite possible. Again, it was a 3 for 5 in favor of EVO here, so nicely done. They pick up that mid lane tower, and that gold lead now is swinging on the side of EVO. We are seeing a 1.6k gold lead. I don't think they will be picking up the inhibitor here, but that will be an inhib tower for the side of EVO. So actually they could just push first, but Gucci's members are coming up quite soon. Okay, EVO does get the inhibitor, so that will be a lot of just automatic lane prio on mid lane here. But yeah, so far the game's been, you know, quite slow pace for the first 10-15 minutes or so, but after that the game's just been very, very explosive with EVO being on soul point.
How many kills did both teams have? 21 to 20. That's how close these team fights have been. This is how a minuscule thing that either player, not even the teams, if either player did, they could win these team fights. That's how close this game is.
Sorry, I was taking a sip of my water. My throat is already getting you know, kind of rusty, even though we're just in game 1 of this series. Like, this can go on for 3 games, and if we get 3 games like this, I don't care. I don't mind having no voice tomorrow if it's 3 games like this.
I was about to say I missed D&D for this, so I prefer to have my voice if possible. Drake will be spawning in the next minute to 1 minute 30. Only EVO is on soul point, so if they do get the next dragon, they will be getting the cloud soul for them. It's looking like Team Gucci Gaming is trying to go through the mid lane, as there is a bush they're trying to break in right now.
Oh no, not a pause right now. Look at the Diana Q, it's about to spot people. It could just be a massive engage.
Take a look where Kill is versus Sovonix.
Yeah, look, Jeff is also there on the side, and Jeff actually. Oh, we're going back into it. Jeff's Mega just expired as well, and yeah, Eon's coming back. He did just complete his Rabadon, so that's gonna be a very, very hurtful little kid throwing stars at you.
Gucci Gaming does have pressure over the river right now, meaning that Zoe will have a lot harder of a time to be able to hit her abilities.
As we're coming to a standstill because of spectator bug, classic League of Legends situation. You know,
be an SLE stream without a slight bit of scuffness there.
Yeah, or just a pause.
Yeah,
Obsidian looking for potential flank, but is in the river right now, clearing the vision.
And W over the wall if he does want to look for something a little bit on the spicy side. Yeon isn't able to hit anything. The W does come out from Savage, but it's looking like he's going to AD build, so it won't be dealing a lot of damage in these team fights. Dragon is up, but hasn't been started, as the Sleepy Trouble Bubble does land, but nothing comes of it. Sovonix is looking for something, but it just isn't happening for him, as both teams, they're just teetering on the edge of a team fight.
Yeah, and the Yeon Zoe this game has been doing so much damage. You know, one bubble that hits, one star that hits is going to be so much damage for EVO that, you know, they could just follow up on that engage. As
Diana's looking for it, has a 4-man ultimate. Huge damage coming in. Savage is in the backline right now, but does get stunned up by the enemy ADC right now. Savonix is still alive. Savonix does have the damage, but there's 5 players up right now against him. It's Savonix against the world. He needs to do something special, or he is going to lose this dragon, going to lose the dragon soul. It's looking like he is going to back away and get this mid tower. Huge engage coming out from local, but there's so many ways for them to get out of this. For example, Ori has ultimate. We have Obsidian's W on the Wukong able to get him out. As they are looking for the end, Zavonix needs to do something here. He needs to try and clear this wave as he is trying to stop them from getting Baron, not realizing that they're going for the end. She's right behind him. She doesn't even have flash up or anything. All she has is clench as they are barreling down the mid lane right now. Are they able to do anything? Ori is looking for it right now. Huge damage comes out from Ori, and a late game ADC says goodbye to Savonix, and they say goodbye to Gucci Gaming's first game.
Yeah, that's 1-0 for Team EVO here, and what a game we've seen. And I think it just, man, I'm looking forward to this series. As you know, I think it's a good time for me and you to take a breather here, and obviously because we have an analyst desk now, because we're professional, we give them over to the analyst desk here, and they can take over for us right now.
Yeah, well, we're going to right. We said it first game Evo, then now our first sweep for G coming in. Give me your 5 cents on these or 2 cents on these games on this game. What do you think? What do you feel? What the goods, the bads?
I don't know. It was like all over the place. The games. It was just a flip flop. We have the flip on the Baron. We have the flip on the Drakes. We have. What I said before, like we said, EVO's draft was way better. When we were like in the call ourselves. The team was just not on one position. I think you should have played for Cassio when you saw he was this fat instead of like going backline dive and leaving him alone.
Brock's definitely not on one line with his team. That's for sure. But I felt like Brock's being maybe over aggressive, maybe his team being too passive and not following up good enough on it. The Cassio really well performance from Symphonics, even in the bit of a struggle. Loco, man, this guy's cracked. I don't know how EVO let this trash go through. Definitely pulling in some weight as well. From the side of EVO, Eon also really good game.
Rough laning phase though.
Yeah, that's for sure. But how would you fix this if you're do you see anything in the EVO draft what you feel like should be banned?
In the EVO draft, no. I don't think particularly like one champion was big of a problem. I think you're just team comp was from Chi or like so much on different sides of it. I think you keep the same bans as game one, like keep the karma away and give like because especially like EVO's gonna go blue side now. So I think the draft from EVO was fine. We like to see a fire instead of Zoe, but Zoe ended up working out pretty well. But I think Gucci needs to draft way differently because they had like kiting front to back style with this Cassia was super fat, but like dive with your Diana and your Kaisa. I think the Kaisa and Diana were both kind of useless in the games.
Yeah, and talking about the Diana, I think we're getting some clips ready from the game here. I mean, we talked about it. I think the Diana definitely had a purpose there. There needed to be a clear initial engage, right, on the side of Chi, because Gnar is not really a champion that can open up. He's really good secondary engage to follow in, but
when you have the loco hooks, you don't need anything else.
True. Oh man, this guy is just built different on Trash. That's for sure. And we saw it again. But yeah, I think are our clips ready, Dread?
Dread, you got some clips in your DMs from Mr.
Nearly, okay.
Good. I want to highlight one thing. We've all seen it. This Kaisa build.
Yes.
It's just no.
That was a big question mark.
I know Mickis is probably not listening now, but my guy, I don't know what you're building, but Runans, Edge of Night, like you were never going to be able to burst someone without your Hail of Blades. So I think you just played Phantom Lancer IE. and just try to front to back with it because it was just so useless.
Yeah, I feel like that was the playstyle that she had to pick up at one point. But it's hard to go play like front to back when you need to engage as well, and you don't have a really reliable tool to engage. And I mean, well played of EVO in general. The fights, they got engaged on Brox. Got a couple good engages, but they just handled it well. And I think we have the plays ready now. So let's go to the first clip.
I have to remember which one of them. My brain is kind of foggy. Oh, there
This
was the
is,
catch out on the Brox, I think. It was in the jungle in top river. I mean, this is how like Gucci not being on the same page, just him being there way too early, walking over vision, just getting called out. This started the EVO Baron, if I'm right.
Yeah, I think you're right on this
Yeah,
one. Yeah, definitely like just out of sync, right? That's what we're seeing in Chi. They're just not on the same page, and no, we're gonna get the fight here. I mean, I called it out as well. Brox or Logok just not being in a good position here with this team. Like his team is holding like this the pixel bush. Meanwhile, Brox is all the way in the dragon pit without a way to get out, and kind of gets forced into this engage.
No one besides the guys that can follow up, but you're against Zaya who has ulti help. You're never ever gonna kill her. So this team fight was just all over the place. I think even if you look at the back, if you look at the earlier Baron, I think this game would have been over before this point if you actually don't win that Baron fight after they take Baron, because that was like
I don't
the
know
huge turning
if
point.
we have a clip of the Baron fighter, which would be appreciated. It doesn't seem like it, but yeah, the Baron fight, of course, really well played out of Gucci, right? Like we've talked about some of the negatives of their team, but there were also really some good turnarounds. Sophonix putting in a lot of work on this Casio, a pick we were all kind of like slightly putting our question mark to it, but he definitely put down a lot of work and a lot of damage. But yeah, just not there, right? Not on the same page. Not looking like a team completely.
Yeah, I mean, we said before they haven't played in a while, so I don't think like it's essentially like only a team thing. It's like a draft thing because your draft wants to do different things, and you go full dive or you go full front to back. But their picks were so split. But Diana and Kaisa want to do different things, and Casio, Trash, and like Nars kind of you can do it in between both. That's fine, but I don't know. I think Chi has to look back at themselves and check the draft again. I think with a good draft, they definitely win. They had enough opportunities and they played well at some points in this game, but they just made too many mistakes and they played team fights, especially like really horrible and like really split up. Even though they had initially like a good fight, it kind of went bad when they split up like a 2v3 and 3v2.
Yeah, maybe like you said, right? Maybe they're not even that off pace, right? Maybe they are on one line, but because their draft just screams two complete different things, and they play towards their champion, they're kind of just doing complete opposite things to what the other part of the team is doing. And yeah, like I think what you said is, if they get a draft that's more in one line with game plan, they definitely, because the early game was good, right? But then the team fights came out, and yeah,
it was never out of control for any of the teams. It was like a constant state of being like 1k ahead for like flipping around like 2k gold, and like it's like it was never ever at the point that it was damn, it's like a 5-6k gold lead, and this game was like insanely uncontrollable from one side and like never comebackable, because it was never that case. Even without let's say about a bit of a blunder draft, they still got kept in the game. They never were really behind. They played lanes, I think top and mid played the lanes.
Yeah. Nar getting ahead actually. Kind of sad on the tower dive, of course, where he did die. But Jeff getting ahead on the Nar into Camille is it's an accomplishment, because that's in general more Camille favorite, especially post 6.
True. I think so. Like we go. I don't know if you have a short break between, but I think definitely for game 2, you as Gucci, you draft one team style, you all agree on it, you all go on the same style, and you just focus on one thing. And if you do that, you definitely win the game. And for EVO, just kind of play the same. I think you ban out the trash because it definitely is a big factor while they were still in the game on Gucci's side, because his hooks were like kind of crazy. But yeah, you have to like have a good decisive draft win, and like if you have a good draft, I think 30% of the game is already done, because draft determines so much. So because like even you saw this, Zoe got fed of team fights that were so split and so bad, while in lane she got shut down super hard by ganks, by misplays, by just Sovanix just outplaying her in the straight 1v1. So I think if you have a good draft as Gucci side, you win it. And EVO, you just hope to. I think they picked blue side now as well. Just react to that draft and maybe win it again.
So game 1, Team EVO MVP. Who would you give the MVP to?
I think no one really stood out for me, but I would give it to Yeon actually. In the end of the day, because he had a kind of like no one had an insanely good. I feel like laning phase and first 15 minutes of the game, besides maybe the Obsidian. But I think his bubbles and his Zoe play really turned around the game in the fights later on. So I would give the nod to Yeon in the.
Yeah, I agree. He thrived in that in the chaos of that Gucci kind of created for themselves, right? The split fights, where Zoe just picked off good bubbles and set up his team for the all-in. So
apparently, the Gucci take blue side again, but I hear from Dread in the caster, so that game 2 is starting up.
yeah, so we will return for game 3, I hope. So
hopefully we'll see you for game 3.
Yeah, not even being biased towards any team. We just want 3 games. We want some content. So
we'll see you anyway. But
good luck to the teams and good luck to the casters.
Hello, everybody. We are back. Me and Sanix. How are you doing, Sanix?
I'm refreshed. Took my bathroom break. Took a sip of water. Refilled my water.
Say bath break. I was like, you're going to a full bath already?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'll just, if it's games like these, I'll just install like a jacuzzi or a hot tub in my room and just, cast from that. It would be pretty cozy.
Imagine
be
we had
good.
like our face cams on, right? Us two just in a hot tub, just be like, hey guys, what's up? We're here to have some great games.
How would the stream be classed on Twitch then? Would it be a league stream or would it be like bath pools or whatever that category is?
Hot tub stream. It'd be an SLE hot tub stream.
You know, the hot tub stream with just league in the background. Yeah, I'm down for that.
So Amaranth will just be under her. Don't you worry. We'll be favored.
What do you mean under? You mean above? Like would be higher viewers, I think. More interesting.
We don't have that many Sims, man. But
but we have banger series though. Come on.
Okay, maybe. But both teams have started their champ select right now. We do see the first 2 bands coming out right now. Gucci Gaming does start off with the Karma. It seemed like this pick just is way too strong against them, as they have decided to ban it first. And it's looking like Team Evolution has banned out the Volley Bear as well. An infamous pick for the SLE.
Yeah, also I just want to point out that obviously Gucci chose blue side again. I'm not a biggest fan of drafting blue side. I think red side is just generally like very strong in draft because there's no really like prio picks that you want. Unless Gucci has something in mind here for their first pick, something they really want to pick out away from EVO, or just something they do think themselves is very strong. We could be seeing something like a, maybe a Diana again, or maybe like a Kai'Sa again. They did pick the Kai'Sa first pick last time around, if I remember correctly. But yeah, obviously Lucian getting banned. I think he got banned out last game, and a zero respect ban from Team EVO onto Sovanix here. And first pick.
Is going to be the Ari right now.
Not looked in yet. Hover.
Right now. But the Azir, this bird just isn't able to get through, and it's looking like Gucci Gaming as well does not like this Wukong. It's looking like this champion is a pick or ban for these players, as the Ari does get locked in first.
Now, what worries me a bit, right? Last time around, Team EVO did cover the Veigar, and that's a pick that just generally does very good into the Ahri, so they could be looking for that here as a counter pick on mid lane already. And the champion as a whole is just very, very strong with what it offers to the team. But Yasuo might be picked in here. Diana Yasuo is open, something Team EVO I think did play in the past. Obsidian is a player that does play Diana, and Yeon is known for his Yasuo, so that gets locked in. Yeon gets put on his comfort pick here. So Team EVO, I think, even though Ari is just a very, very, very strong first pick, you put the guy on his comfort pick, it generally does very, very good. And Ornn getting locked in for Bobo on top lane, the guy that does very well on just generally weak side picks, gets put on Ornn. Tank, assassin, ADC, DPS, mage, whatever it is.
Yes, this is a very strong team coming out from Team Evolution, bringing the Yasuo and the Ornn out as your first and second pick. One thing I do want to talk about is Yeon. Yeon didn't really have the best start in the last game. We did see Savonix really, take over the early game, was able to, get pressure, get a few kills. But when he was on this Zoe late game, he was a very dangerous threat. He was able to one-shot some of the carries on the side of Gucci Gaming.
Yeah, and obviously Gucci responding with the Braum pick as well, which is just a pick that counters Ornn, right? He can't really put, he calls his horn, the
horn,
thing,
of course.
The horn, and you just block it with your wall, and they pick the Trundle as well, a champion that does melt the tanks, can melt the Ornn really fast. It could be a Trundle top and Diana getting locked in there, so we do have a Diana Yasuo combo, and this is very much more in Team Evolution's alleyway, where they just want to team fight and look for those fights, as 5.
Team Evolution isn't trying to make this a 1-for-1, not trying to get to this third game. They are hungry and they are ready to take down Gucci Gaming. They're bringing out the biggest picks they can, the Yasuo, the Ornn, the Diana, the bread and butter for their team. But you have to remember, this Trundle is infamous in, whole of SLE. We've seen it in so many games and we've really seen how dangerous it can be. It's real. We have to see if they can take down the Trundle.
And we've seen a lot of Trundle, especially in the top lane. Just a few days ago, there was a match between RT1 and NME. And in that game too, the Trundle top lane just basically destroyed the whole base at a point, right? So it's a champion that isn't just played in the jungle in SLE. He's played on top lane as well. And, who knows? We might even see him in support in some game. Not this game, obviously, as Braum is picked already for the side of Gucci. But yeah, Team EVO not showing any cards on their bot lane yet.
Sanix. I'm not sure that you can really use enemy versus RT1 as just, Trundle. You have to remember the person piloting it. As the caster, I have a thing for Fabiolo Lolo.
Of course, yeah.
An infamous man in my heart. But the second bad phase has come out right now. Team Evolution's too bad. It's going to be Desire, seeming like this champion is just a little bit too strong against their team, as with the Braum, there's going to be so much CC, you won't be able to get onto him. And the Gwen is banned as well, as it will be strong into the Ornn. It's looking like Gucci Gaming is going to be countering by banning the Ezreal and the Lulu.
And Team Evolution does pick out the Kai'Sa here, leaving support for the last pick in their team. Is something I do rate very highly. Support last pick is just generally very, very strong. And Kai'Sa is just a champion that, again, does very good in the meta right now. Last game round, we saw Savage on Kai'Sa with a build that maybe wasn't, the most efficient one, but it was doing some work in the game. And this time around, obviously, Kai'Sa gets picked up on the other side, and they do lock in the Kog'Maw, which is a champion that we haven't seen much recently, or recent years even.
Now, Kog'Maw is a big pick coming out. This is a champion we do not see often. Remember, this champion is very, very immobile. It should be easy for the Diana to get onto this with the Yasuo, but we'll have to see if Braum is able to keep him safe. It's looking like the set may be getting picked to try and stop Diana from getting on top. Even if they do engage onto the Kog'Maw, if set's able to keep him off, Kog'Maw's just going to be absolutely able to shred.
And they go Malphite.
Oh, now this is a team fight comp if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, and again, top lane, it's basically a rock hitting a guy that looks like a rock. So, top lane's going to be kind of, a nothing lane. But what really matters this game is the mid and the bot, right? It was showcased between the analysts before the first game that mid and bot are really what matters. And with the picks that are coming out in game 2 here, that's really what it is here. And Nautilus does get locked in for the side of Team Evolution. That's Kai'Sa Nautilus bot lane, a very strong lane. Obviously, Gucci Gaming had a similar bot lane last time around with Kai'Sa Thresh. This time around, it's Kai'Sa Nautilus versus Braum Kog'Maw. And if I was to give someone the edge in this bot lane, I would still say Kai'Sa Nautilus, as Braum really was picked very early in the draft, and he was there just to counter the Ornn.
I disagree, man. I really disagree with you.
Okay.
The reason I disagree with you right now is so Braum, his E, he deals or he's able to take so much damage from the Acathian Rain, from the Kaiser Q, from Nautilus. He's able to jump in front of the Kog'Maw, and if Kog'Maw has a little bit of space to deal damage, this champion absolutely shreds. This Ornn and this Nautilus is going to get absolutely shredded through this team fight if he's able to do anything.
Yeah, but you do have to keep in mind if the Diana gets an angle, if the Diana Yasuo ult combo goes through, Kai'Sa can just jump in the backline as well, and that just means the backline will melt. Because the amount of damage those three champions do once they dive onto your backline is just out of the roof. It's just, it's so much of it, especially once Kai'Sa gets her Q evolve off. There's a lot of damage on the side of Team EVO if they do get a big combo off onto the backline. Because other than Kog'Maw and Ahri, Gucci doesn't really have that much damage when you look at it.
I would agree with you there, but you have to remember if Braum is able to get a Q onto someone or his passive and Trundle's able to ult them and get a few auto attacks off, Trundle can really get through this Ornn or through this Nautilus. Because imagine Trundle ults this Ornn to he steals his stats and makes Ornn less tanky, and then Kog'Maw starts shredding him down. The front line of Team Evolution is just going to disappear in a few seconds.
Yeah, obviously that is also the case, right? But if the Braum, he needs to stand in a position, right, where he can block the Ornn ult from engaging, right? And once he does that, it means if Bobo ults, just normally how everyone expects Ornn to ult, so from behind your team, your Braum is gonna angle his shield away from all the dangers of Team Evolution just to stop the Ornn ult, and that will leave the front line open for engage, just all the damage that can come in the later stages of the game.
It's definitely going to be a mechanical play in these team fights. Whatever team can play it better will be winning it right here. It's all against this Braum. If this Braum does defend it, is the Nautilus able to find and engage even the Diana? Because if they get on to this Kog'Maw and blow him up, they will be winning these team fights.
Yeah. So if before we go in game, obviously we were talking about this draft so far. I give my edge a bit in the draft to Team EVO. I do think if they do get their combos off, it's much easier to pilot as well. And obviously Yeon on that Yasuo comfort pick, Obsidian playing Diana quite often as well. So I'd give my edge to Team Evolution. Who would you give your edge to in this scenario?
I would actually give it to Gucci Gaming. I believe in the Kog'Maw. It's all on the Kog'Maw this game. He's the player that everyone has to watch. If Gucci Gaming is able to keep him alive, he is going to absolutely dominate these team fights and get everything for him. And I'm a bit of a fan of Uzi. Have you ever heard of him? You must have.
No, who is that? Huh? No clue.
Oh, okay.
No clue who that is. No clue.
Absolutely good. Okay, let me give it for, all the Zoomers in chat. Imagine it's Gumayushi. We'll pretend it's Gumayushi on this player. He will be absolutely dominating this full team. I believe in him.
I knew who Uzi was, but thank you. I do agree with that comparison. It's Gumayushi out of MSI.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing okay. Do you not think?
Could be better.
Okay, tell me why. What's wrong with Gumayushi?
Well, obviously, the factor one, he's not Savage, So
okay,
he's just a worse
I
player.
agree.
He's just a worse player. Like, come on.
Oh, is
straight up
Ori
facts.
not in the question anymore?
Oh yeah, Ori as well, but we were talking about Kog'Maw here, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think both these players just levels above anyone outside of SLE. So, I mean, look, right? We've never, no team in SLE ever lost to T1. That's a correct statement, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think you would have to say that they have never gone against T1.
That doesn't matter. Look at the stats. They have 0 losses. 0 losses is all that matters. So I think any team here is levels above.
Okay, I'll agree with you there. But one player I do want to talk about is Obsidian. So Obsidian was able to get a big lead for Team EVO, getting a 3-kill lead on Wukong in the last game. But afterwards, he just wasn't able to do much with it. He tried to get a lot of ganks off and he just wasn't able to find anything. And because he wasn't farming as well, he just started to slowly lose the lead he had against the other team, against Gucci Gaming. So we'll have to see on the Diana pick if he's still going to be this very gank oriented, or if he's really going to be playing like a usual solo queue Diana where they just perma farm up to level 6, up to level 11, where they can finally one-shot someone.
I do think that's kind of what you want to do, right? You have a Yasuo mid, you kind of just are banking on that combo to make plays happen. So I don't think we'll be seeing much activity in the early stages, except for maybe a skirmish or maybe a 3v3 around that bot side, because you do have a Nautilus, so you do have that setup. But other than that, I do think getting the level 6 in Diana is very crucial in this game.
The ultimates are the big thing for the side of Team Evolution. If they dare fight without them, there's no way they're going to be able to blow up this Kog'Maw, which they need to do.
Yeah, and obviously, last time around when it was Team Evolution versus Vitagen, that series, I think it was in game 2, actually, we had a Yasuo versus Yon mid lane. And, what better way to cast a Yasuo matchup, when it's against a Yon. So, two champions that if you see your solo queue mid laner pick, you kind of shiver because you think they will run it down. But yeah, both of the players last time around.
No, either 10-0 or 0-10 when you see
Yeah,
a Yasuo.
yeah. But generally, it's 75% that it's going to be an 0-10. So,
I mean, I can't disagree with you. That's the issue.
yeah. And both players last time round piloted those champions very well. And obviously, Vitagen is in the lower bracket with eyes on mid lane, really good as well. And Yeo now picking the Yasuo up again here in the winners finals.
EVO is up 2-0 against Gucci Gaming. If Team EVO is able to take this game here, they will be going to the grand finals. That means Gucci Gaming will be going down to fight against Vitagen for the final spot in the grand finals. So even if the team does lose now, they do have a chance to come back. They do have a chance to make it. But Gucci Gaming, of course, doesn't want this, as we will be getting into game very, very soon, where we get to play my favorite game, the skin game.
In game? Okay. Let's rate it. Malphite, no skin against Elderwood Ornn. That's an L.
Okay, yeah, agreed. That's an L. Okay, then it's Trundle skin versus no Diana skin. That's an L.
That's an L, even though the Trundle skin isn't that good, right? But then look at mid lane, Hainun Yasuo. That skin's so cool. I rate it.
Yeah, but think about how much money KDA Ari's got. You know he's simping for her. So Vonix is there.
Oh, we missed out the other two. I didn't see the other two laner skins.
It is all good. We don't have to worry because we are finally into game. Gucci Gaming versus EVO. Just imagine there's a little tick next to EVO. EVO did win the first game. If EVO wins this game, they will be going to the grand finals, as both teams are looking for maybe a simple 5-point. Gucci Gaming maybe. Or are they doing a bit spicy?
Looking for that mid lane, but I think they might be getting spot out here. No one spots them. And they do get their way into the mid bush here. Yon doesn't spot them out, and Kill is in danger. I think he did spot. This is very dangerous.
Somebody needs to flash to do anything, but the hook out keeps him safe. A little bit of spice coming out on the side here, but because Team EVO did do that, Gucci Gaming did do that, Team EVO is able to place a ward, spotting out where the jungle is going to start for Gucci Gaming.
This is a very... That was scary. Okay, I was clenching.
Were you on the edge of your seat?
I was on the edge of my seat. A kill there.
Almost out of it.
Almost out of it. The water was spilling out. The water's all over my floor right now.
Oh, you really need to clean that up.
Look at here.
Leon is a little bit in a dangerous place. Does the Q land? And that is a flash coming out. He is in a very bad position right now. Savonix did start W, getting a massive chunk, and Savonix is going to win the mid lane right now because of it.
That's flashed off of the Yasuo, right? So it opens up for the ganks, right?
Looking front bot lane right now. There is going to be an engage onto the Kog'Maw. Massive damage coming out. Exhaust as well. Flash does come out. Exhaust as well from Savage. All summoning spells are coming. 2 more auto attacks onto Savage. 1 more as the pause comes out.
Yeah, but the Kog'Maw is dead there. He has no way to get out. He will die.
1 auto attack, he may be able to get this if Braum is.
No. The stun already went through because Ori used the.
Oh, he's still alive. And is that going to be one dead Ori? Ori does not have flash anymore, and Braum does die to make this happen. It's a support versus support combat, my favorite type, as we do get a small little bit of a lag spike here. But it's looking like Evo Kill will be trying to walk out here.
Yeah, and that was the healing from Kog'Maw just ticked in from somewhere. I think it was a pot that he popped up. But yeah, the healing was it came in clutch there. I think it really did chunk Ori down to some HP where the Kog'Maw passive did kill him, because I don't think level 1 Kog'Maw passive does that much damage. So I think Ori could have actually survived there It was not that much healing on Savage, but again, EVO getting that first blood here, which will be pretty good. Kog'Maw opting to go for the boots, while on the other hand, Ori goes for another longsword. So now we have 2 longswords on Ori. That's gonna be a lot of damage.
One thing I do want to talk about is Loco still has the Ignite up. I wonder if maybe Savage could have lived if Loco did use the Ignite.
Yeah, depends when he used the Ignite, right? If he used it very early in the fight, it could have just been cleansed away, as we're seeing a trade on mid here.
Somehow, Yeon has been changing his mid lane now. We did see that he was massively chunked out. Had to use so many health pods in the mid lane to get even close to the same as Savonix. But it's just looking like his Yasuo is just on a new degree. Why did they let this player get his champion?
Yeah, I'd say it was very, just weird to do it, but maybe they're just confident that they can beat it. Obviously, Diana Yasuo combo that's been in the game for quite some time now, especially in all kinds of competitive play across all elos. It's a combo that is very easy to execute and very easy to pilot and does a lot of damage, but obviously with Yeon not having his flash up, it means that he is a potential gank target here with that pillar coming out.
He is looking for it right now, but the stun up from Yeon right there does stop him right now. But Obsidian is looking for the Rifthold right now. Not Rifthold, sorry, for the Scuttle Crab. Rifthold hasn't spawned yet, and it's looking like he will be able to secure it as he did go straight for him, not for the gank mid.
As I would politely ask our observer to stretch out the screen a bit because I'm struggling to see anything. But other than that,
thank you. I was trying to be. I don't have glasses. I have 20/20 vision. Even I was squinting to look at the screen.
Yeah. I was looking for it. I was leaning on my table, towards the screen. But everyone at home is seeing,
hot tub, trying to not fall in there.
Yeah, even more water's on my floor right now, but it doesn't matter because it's getting hot.
Bathroom fixed because of that. Because water kept going through the floor. It was this time. There is a small fight in the mid lane, and just Yeon always engages when he has the shield up. He really understands when he can do something. As Obsidian is trying to go into the bushes right now, they are looking for this Kog'Maw. They understand he's the target. It looks like EVO really understands what they need to do to win this game.
Yeah, and obviously Trundle's around their own bot side, so if they do show here, Trundle will be responding to this gank. So we could be seeing a 3v3 like I mentioned earlier in draft. It is something we could potentially be seeing around this bot side. But that wave is slow pushing towards EVO now. I do think they both reset, but still no vision on them. And
Diana does have a dash. If she hits it right now, we could have something. But the Q does spot them out, and that is huge time wasted right now. But the flash comes in from the Nautilus. Savage is so low that he just isn't able to save him, and they're able to take down Savage again. They're really trying to get this Kog'Maw behind, and it's working right now. Yeah, if they get this price so far ahead, Savage won't be able to do anything in this game.
Yeah, and Obsidian being very patient, sitting in that bush for what seemed like to be 25 to 30 seconds even. And yeah, it paid off. EVO now with a 1k gold lead. I think Obsidian will be getting his back off here. He's already in base, moving up. Dragon is up. And also, interestingly, right, we said top lane is going to be kind of a null matchup, right? It's 2 tanks hitting each other. But Bobo's really winning out on top side with those trades, especially with Grasp.
Do you want me to teach you a little fact about League? You ready for it?
Yeah.
So, when did Malphite come out?
Malphite... Oh, let me guess. This is a hard one, but probably like season 1? Actually, no, I'm wrong. Before season 1.
Quickly, before that, we need to talk about this top lane right now. The Ornhorn does come out, barely misses it just because of the Trundle pillar right now. And Bobo barely escapes with a Z. The only reason I asked you that question is Nautilus did come out later. Not Nautilus, Ornn did come out later, as we do see another engage in the top lane. Obsidian does not have ultimate. Logo had so much damage on this Trundle. The flash does come out. Bobo stun does not do anything for him. Does the pillar come up in time? No, it doesn't. That's going to be a 1-0 for the side of Gucci Gaming. As the ult does come out from Savonix. And just the ult is all he needs to get the kill. And that's a 2-0 for Gucci Gaming. They're winning.
Yeah, Yeon stayed on top side, but that was just a bit of, I think, a bit of greed from Obsidian. I think Jeff also just hit 6 there in that fight, or just got enough mana off of to pop his ult off. But yeah, it was just on the edge there because Jeff was in a very...
Are they looking for him? He is in the bush right now. Remember, he does not have the ultimate left anymore. He did dodge the hook. The stun does come down. Yeon just understands his champion to a T. Even if his support isn't able to make the play, he just can do it. He even had flash still up to do something.
Yeah, and obviously that hook from kill was a bit of a zone-in one, I would say. But yeah, as he might be getting collapsed on here.
He's getting collapsed on right now. Obsidian is here, still does not have the ultimate. He does engage right now. They are trying to run. Savage is running for the hills as the hook barely doesn't land. And it's looking like Gucci Gaming's bot lane is able to escape.
Yeah, and as I was saying, that mid didn't that hook didn't hit the Ahri on mid, but it was just enough for Yeon to close up because the Ahri did have to sidestep it towards the Yasuo, right? So you kind of just get in range of that Q knockup, and very nicely played from Team Evolution here.
Look at those bonks. Incredible.
Yeah, very
Awesome
damaged
fight.
bonk. That's a season 8 bonk right there.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling more like a season 10 bonk, but I'm not sure.
Was he season 10? Oh my.
There was about 100 more damage, of course.
Ah,
That's
yeah,
how the game
of course. Yeah, makes sense. Obviously, the new champion is gonna do like 300 more damage with true damage in the kit as well, so that's even better, right?
And also a stun, and also a fear. Don't forget.
And also dash, and some
and
stealth.
also can change to the enemy champion, use their abilities, as there will be another gank in the top lane right now. Flash is still up for Yeon right now. Does stop the charm right now. Ultimate comes out, goes.
God!
Oh,
That's not enough. Malphite.
of Malphite against the Yasuo, and that is one dead Yeon. But that ultimate was massive from him. Do you think he meant that?
Yeah, I think he did. Again, I was saying, it's a guy that is known for his Yasuo, and I think he has very good understanding of that champion. So I think he did that on purpose. And if there was no Malphite there, he would have been out as well. So that was very nicely played from Yeon, but sadly Malphite was there to pick up the kills. Otherwise, we would have had a very clean play for the clips later on.
They are trying to look for this dragon right now. They weren't able to kill Yeon, so they do have their mid laner down right now. It will be a 4 versus 3 if they try something. But it's looking like they are going to give this up and go for the Rift Held instead. Hopefully Obsidian does use this bot lane and try and get Savage even further behind to allow his bot lane to really carry the game for him. As the Yasuo is hovering near the top side. Ahri and Trundle are still near the bot. May even look for a dive later on in the game.
The Yasuo and Diana do have their ults up right now, so this is where they could look for those team fights. The Herald does go down, and they could be looking to just dive a lane possibly, because maybe even bot side, Kog'Maw has exhaust, but other than that, it could be a lane they could abuse even further, because we did say before, Kog'Maw is someone we want to abuse, as we are seeing a short trade here on top.
A little slap fight. Oh, what do we see? The Season 1 champion did win this time. Unexpected.
Very unexpected.
Now, this is the team fight that I like to see. Look at this slap. The Ornhorn does come down right now, trying to look for something. Does he get another bonk off? He does not, and that's going to be one wasted Ornhorn. Luckily, nothing is coming up in anytime soon, so he just did that to allow him to reset.
As Nautilus picks up the full play there on bot side, so that's what every support wants, right? It's a bit of extra gold in your pocket. Get that mythic or whatever you're building first into your build, and then you can kind of just relax for the rest of the game. As we see Nautilus kind of walking towards mid lane here, but will decide to go down towards bot. As on top, the Season 1 champion seems to be winning out the health battle right now, and he does have his ult up against no ult on Bobo here.
Yeon is looking for something, but he has so many dashes around the place as he does go in, as the Diana R does come out as well. Savonix has so many dashes as he tries to flash away, but Yeon just isn't there. The Brom finally comes in, and this is devastating from the side of EVO. They thought they had enough damage to kill Savonix straight out, but they just weren't able to. They got 2 kills in the mid lane. They're able to get a tower plate minimum on Jeff right now, and this is looking like it's all Gucci Gaming.
Yeah, and that fight, right? Yeon got that nice ult onto the Ahri. Ahri forced to use the ult. Obsidian coming in, hitting the big ult, pulling the Ahri back in. Savonix doing very nice to flash out and just R away, getting into position. And then again, Ahri's in a position where you can free hit and throw your spells out without getting punished. And at that point, once the juice is out of EVO, they can't really engage, right? So yeah, Savonix doing very nice to not die there and pick up those kills. As we saw on the gold graph, Gucci Gaming picking up a gold lead for themselves now at 1.5k. This game, again, in comparison to last game, is already much more explosive, much more active from both teams so far. And the gold lead is kind of where it was for over 20 minutes of last game. So are we going to be seeing a same situation, or is it going to be, extending the lead?
We will have to see. Hopefully, at least for us, we want a close game. Savonix did finish his first item here, able to get the Everfrost completed. So we'll have to see if he's able to CC anyone down and get his ADC ahead even more. But Yeon, he is really showing up this game. He did have a little bit of a weaker early game in the last game, but he's already this scary on Yasuo in the early game. We know how a 0-10 power spike of a Yasuo can be. So late game, he's going to be a massive threat to deal with.
Yeah, and you know, there's no objective on the map right now. Dragon's not really spawning. Herald does get spawned on bot side though, so that's going to be gold in the pocket of Ori. Gets 2 plates, I think. So that is some gold back to the side of EVO. 1k gold lead so far for the side of Gucci after that Herald.
Obsidian is spotted out in that bush, so then they don't try and go for a play right there. So it's looking like Obsidian is going to farm even more. Now, Obsidian has done a lot better this game on the farming side, which is nice to see. As he wasn't able to get a big lead, he's decided that with Diana Yasuo, if you deal enough damage, Yasuo can just finish it off right there. As in this top lane, both players have about half HP, and they do have their ultimates up, so maybe even in the slap fight, we might even see a kill.
And as we're seeing the experience here, Yeon and Savonix pretty evenly matched. Obviously, Jeff on top lane has a level lead on Bobo, who's pretty close to that. But other than that, EVO players are pretty far behind in XP compared to their counterparts on the side of Gucci here. But yeah, I think once the items come in, I think EVO should just take the game a bit slower right now, right? You don't have the items, you don't have those power spikes. I mean, you do have the ult combos, but it clearly didn't work out the last time you did it on mid on the Ahri. So you might just wait for items now and pick your fight at a later stage.
Only one top laner has TP right now, so this could be a big chance for Gucci Gaming to get the dragon right now. They did just push out the bot lane and push out the mid lane to get the farm. EVO is pushing him right now, and Ornn is coming down. Jeff did just finish his first item as the TP does come down, but they already found low gold. This is massive from the side of EVO. If they're able to kill one just before the team fight, as Jeff does get an ultimate off, dealing huge damage. That is one dead Kai'Sa. Remember, Savage is up. Savage is just able to deal so much damage. This was really bad for the side of EVO as they did engage on Logog, which isn't the player they wanted. They were trying to engage on Savage, just weren't able to.
Yeah, and I think that fight might have just been a bit too early as Gucci is looking to pick up the kill on Ornn here, and that's just a five-member sweep for the side of Gucci here. Wasn't an ace because Nautilus respawned early enough, but that's a dragon. 5 kills for the side of Gucci, and it seems it might be a mid tower as well. So EVO looking in a very, very rough spot now. 3k gold lead for Gucci. This is the biggest gold lead we've seen so far in the series, except for obviously towards, you know, after the winning fight last game. So Gucci in a very, very good spot right now.
Gucci is definitely in a very good spot. Just look at that gold lead. Already 3k. They also get one tower in the mid lane and a big chunk on the bot lane tower here. Jeff's ultimate there was massive for the team, able to knock up 3 to 4 players, allowing his full team to just engage. And Logog was tanking so long, allowing his team to catch up, allowing the Braum to get in, Savonix to look for Sync on the side, and Kog'Maw was just in there, just untouched, and was able to really do what a Kog'Maw wants in a team fight.
Yeah, and we do have the objective bounties now. Hextech Soul is coming out, and I do think EVO just needs to slow down the game and play once they hit their item power spikes. Yasuo is not on a mythic yet, compared to Ahri, who's almost completed 2 items. Like, Ahri's Savonix is very close to the zone. He has the Everfrost. The junglers both completed the mythic. Ornn is not on a mythic yet. ADC is both on a mythic. But yeah, I think the Yasuo is really far behind when it comes to itemization here. And they do kind of just need to wait that out. I think it's not a time to fight. I think they need to let the next dragon go, leave the objectives, and just wait, farm up, get the items.
They're looking for a fight in the mid lane right now. Ultimate does come out from Yeon. Massive engage. Diana R as well. Savonix is CC'd up right now. Is he able to escape? He doesn't have ultimate right now. His ult just barely comes out. He's going in for the engage, and look at Logog. This is the power of the Trundle. This is what we're talking about, this champion. This is why he's getting picked so much. Logog is still going in. Jeff is going in with the ultimate, trying to kill Obsidian. Is he able to get it? Just barely doing enough damage, and Gucci Gaming is wiping the floor with EVO. The only thing they're able to get is the spot lane tower.
Yeah, and this game is just a stark contrast to what last game was. Jeff just chasing down Bobo here in his own jungle, and he's trying to build the items. Obviously not enough damage there to kill him, but sieging mid tower here They could be even going for an inhib. I think EVO would be very smart to drop the inhib here. That's a lot of gold, as it's what they need right now. That Herald will be hitting the mid lane here, so let's see what the call is. I think they will be leaving the mid inhibitor to drop.
This does allow it does allow a lot of gold to go to the pockets of EVO, so it does look like they are going to allow this to happen. There's only one issue with dropping this tower. They are already down 2 Drakes. If they lose 2 more Drakes right now, they will be on soul point. It's going to be very, very hard for them to win this game.
Yeah, and that inhibitor slowly falling.
You know, Shirley's just there, you know, having a few love taps at it, seeing how it's doing, and it does slowly go down for them. But with all these mid lane towers down, the GCG Gaming can really go into the enemy jungle and take whatever side they want. It is looking like they are a little bit split up right now. We do have Cockmore in the bot lane still farming, while Braum is in the top lane with Savonix. I'm hoping that they do meet up very, very soon to try and look for an objective.
Yeah, as I don't really know what, like, Malphite is so fed right now. It's not something you'd expect Malphite to be. 5-0-3 as Nautilus does get charmed, buffers his Q, but Jeff just engages on him, and that's gonna be a kill.
Ult did come out from either side of GCG Gaming, as that's going to be one dead Nautilus. It's looking like they will be getting top tower. They are moving 4 players up here to try and grab it, as we do have Cogmore just trying to grab this mid wave, trying to make sure that they have pressure there as they grab the top tower.
Yeah, and Ori picking up a lot of gold here, but Volgo is just chasing down. Won't be enough though.
He's feeling himself this game. He's just walking in there into the enemy base being like, hi guys, you let me play Trundle in SLE. You know what happens when this champion gets picked. As they do take down the top tower, Drake will be spawned in the next 1 minute, so we'll have to see if they're going to reset soon for it.
Yeah, obviously the inhibitor is spawning in 3 minutes, so that's 3 minutes of time that the inhib's going to be up here. But other than that, you know, not much that EVO can do in the game right now. They want to 5v5 fight. That's what their comp wants to do. But if they do 5v5 fight right now, it is going to be quite dangerous. But what we're seeing here is this Kog'Maw has been alone on the map for the past 2 minutes or so. So he is in a really volatile position. He doesn't have enough survivability to live on his own. He has the shield bow completed. He is building towards the wit's end. But I don't think that's enough. If Diana Yasuo hits you, you are just dying. Obviously, Hex Gates will let you be at the objective much faster than what you normally would be, so it means that you can reset a bit later, but the Dragon's coming up, and I think EVO is just going to drop this one, not contest it.
One thing I do want to talk about there is we did see the CS numbers coming out from these players. Even though GCG Gaming has a big lead on the enemy team, EVO's team has been farming up a whole lot better than the rest of them. So if they're able to, you know, keep this gold lead slightly close, they may be able to slowly claw their way back through better CS and maybe better map movement.
Yeah, and Kai'Sa also completing that Phantom Dancer, and think that's enough to evolve both her Q and her E. As this Hex Gate
come through, Obsidian is in a terrible position right now. Does have flash. Is he able to get away? Jeff still has ultimate. We'll see if Jeff will have to use the ultimate, but it's looking like it's going to be one slap away, as Bobo is still caught out as well. He is trying to TP out. Jeff does have ultimate to stop it, as he has decided to use it right there. Bobo's trying to waste as much time as possible. But the thing is, we do see another fight in the bot lane. Yeon is the only player who can really carry his team right now, as he's trying to get onto Savage, but the stun coming out from Loco is just too much, and Savage just isn't, or Yeon isn't able to move, meaning Savage will be able to do it, as another fight is coming out. EVO's trying to fight everywhere on the map. They're trying to find something, but this Trundle is just slapping away. Ori does go into the Xayah right now, but it's looking like it just isn't enough, and it's just falling apart for EVO. They're just trying to find anything.
Yeah, and this game is looking very, very grim for EVO now. 21-5 in kills, 3-0 in Dragons. Obviously, objective bounties are up. They have been up for the past 10 minutes or so, even, because Gucci has just been playing very, very differently to what they were doing last game, and it seems to be working, as they are on Baron right now, and this would be a very, very big, even bigger swing for Gucci here.
Remember, Obsidian is in place to try and take this. Savonix is trying to stop this Saber Jazz. He flashes in just too early, as it still has 1.7k left, and he is going to go down to this Drake. And it's looking like it's going to be a very hard game, as we do see an ultimate come out right now. Exhaust does come out. W still up for Yeon. He did flash onto him. Savage Spell Shield does come out, but just Yeon, when he gets on top of you as an AD carry, you will not be living. And that's a lot of gold going into the pocket of Yeon right now. Yeon's really trying everything to try and get into this game and trying to carry his team.
Yeah, obviously, if I find it very, very hard for Team EVO to find a way back in the game here, as Kog'Maw is just going to get bigger and bigger towards the later stages of the game, completing Rageblade right now. Sovonix as well is so far ahead. It's just looking very rough for EVO.
But remember, this is League of Legends. Anything can change. They are trying to ward up, trying to slowly crawl way back into their jungle. But it's just looking like they aren't able to move anywhere as they are looking for the top tower, Gucci Gaming.
And a Wit Send completed for Kog'Maw now as well, so I don't know if the API is trolling us a bit or not. If I get to see Kog'Maw items here, I think he should be in 3 items if I saw the pop-ups correctly, and no, okay, he's on 2. He has the Wit Send, no Rageblade yet for Kog'Maw. I did see
Remember,
a Rageblade pop-up somewhere.
When
What's
he
that all
does
about?
get his Rage Blade, he's going to be a very, very scary champion. This is where Kog'Maw thrives, at the 3 item. Most champions in the game usually spike at their 2 items, as there is an engage in the top lane right now. Braum does stop the ultimate, but he's very easy to kill right now, as they are still trying to look, but they just aren't able to find everything. Remember, look on the side right now. We do have Logog and Savage. Their Nautilus is getting stunned up right now, and that's going to be 1 dead Nautilus, 1 dead Boba, as 3 players is dead, as they're just trying to run down the side of Team EVO. 4 dead, the last player up. Yeon is trying to do everything he can, but that just isn't enough. Gucci Gaming dominate and absolutely rip apart EVO Gaming as they take the second game.
Yeah, and this is 23 minutes as well, and yeah, looking for the end. I think they will be ending this game, obviously, with the Baron buff. They do have the tower damage, and yeah, as you said, absolutely dominating Team EVO in this game. Gucci Gaming with a completely different performance, especially on Sovonix on mid lane, 8, 1, and 11. On Ahri as well, very, very, very nicely played from Gucci here. And yeah, you know, we've had a long and slow game 1. And now all of a sudden we are having a very fast-paced and one-sided game 2. So on that note, you know, we will go take a breather, go dip in our hot tub in our room, and you know, take it over from the analyst
Have a nice
desk.
little cozy time, and we'll be
Yeah,
heading
yeah.
over to the caster desk.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, that was an explosive one, wasn't it, Dutch?
I mean, we all.
Yeah,
Early-
but yeah, you don't want to do it. Say it. You don't want to say it. You have the easiest draft, but sorry, Red.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
the Discord.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, welcome back, guys. Discord being beautiful again and probably cutting us halfway through the sentence, but yeah, that was explosive. That said it. Evo had a draft that required you to press R on the proper targets, and they just didn't.
I mean, I have to like, I have to take 2 seconds from this game, but even the early game, it looked decent for EVO because I think they were like a small gold lead ahead early, and you thought like, if Chi doesn't win this early game, they're just done. But
it hit.
the Gucci pulled it off. I have to shout out it. Sovonix is putting Chi on his fucking back. This guy is having back pains tomorrow from here to I don't know where, but it's
Yeah,
just I don't know. He's playing out of his mind this series at this point.
yeah, I agree. Sophonic's really putting in work. I heard a comment in the watch party going, Sophonic's charms are just a little bit longer than the average Ari charm. The man got some unbelievable picks with this charm. He just outstanding performance. Like game 1, he just outranged but out CS the mid lane match as well. Too bad the game got scrappy and Zoe thrived in it. And now game 2, he just hard matchup as well, right? Yasuo definitely a pretty good counter. I don't think it's a hard counter, but I think it's a pretty good counter into Ahri. For what I know of my mid lane matchups, especially with the Diana next to it, right? It's such a free gank post 6, but the man played it well and carried his team through the game. Jeff, shout out to him as well. Like
My
the
Jeff,
man.
my fellow Jeffer, you
Yeah.
sat back this entire game just playing the dang matchup, and it was crazy good.
Oh
But I
yeah.
have like we said this in game 1, but Gucci was not on the same page. In game 2, they looked way more on the same page on what they want to do, pinpoint champions in team fights, and just have a general idea on how we want to play, the game, and just how you want to perform. And just it was the complete opposite from EVO. These engages from Obsidian, from the Diana, were absolutely dog shit. Like, I don't know what he was doing, but they were so split off. You have such an easy team comp to pull out. You have Nautilus, Ornn, Diana, with Kaisa and Yasuo to follow up. Just
Yeah.
pressure our button, kill the target, kill the Kog'Maw, kill the Ahri, and then you just wet noodle slap the tanks that are left. But they just
Man, this was just as well as like as much as you can say Obsidian chose the wrong targets. It's also the rest of the team that just commits to the same wrong target as well. It's we saw it everything being used on the Trundle, and then Kog'Maw walks up and it's like, yeah, what you guys gonna do? Like press E1 says Diana on me, I will just melt you guys. And from that point, I think that was the river fight. It was just over. Like Sophonic's picked up kills, Kog'Maw picked up kills, and good performance of Loco on the Braum as well, keeping his ADC safe. It's
I mean, I'm like the contrast between game 1 and 2 is just so big. But heading into game 3, we had both sides of the spectrum. We had I think game 1 was kind of even to the point there was like that team fighting of EVO was just better, but game 2 was an insane stomp from the good
yeah,
side.
and I see that we have some clips ready to, and I think this is the river fight we were talking about, where yeah.
This is the three man, and yeah, they blow everything on the show here. Like they like not their focus is completely wrong with this.
Jeff being there perfectly on time as well, by the way. Shout out to Jeff. Good TP.
Even if the Malphite doesn't show up there, Gucci still win this fight because
Yes,
they blew
yeah.
literally everything on the Trundle. Who can even ulti someone to have so much sustain? I mean, this the focus on EVO was just all wrong this game. I think the most important part for this game for EVO to take is just don't tilt too much. You have another game. You played game 1. You played well. Game 2, your early game was fine, but you got Omega stomped after. Just reset the mental. Go into game 1 mental and just say if you drop better again, play lanes better, and just have a better communication with team fights. You have a good chance of taking game 3.
Yeah, for sure. I think what we saw in game 1, right? EVO stays even till like mid game, till like second, third break. EVO starts slowly running off with the game because of the draft just being slightly better. But it seems like if EVO does not stay even or get behind, it's doomed. It looks doomed. It looks like they just overcommitting on targets just to commit, and you don't have the gold for it either to blow up a Trundle. But yeah, it's definitely.
I don't enjoy the game, but
yeah,
it was very hopeful. We hoped for game 3. We got 3 and 3, but I mean, I don't know if you like. Besides the things we said, like from draft perspective, we all thought EVO hard won draft. So even with the leaving trash open, they kind of got bait in the Braum pick, etc. Do you think like there's any prio or like no prio? We've seen Kaisa and Diana both lose now in both games, so I think they just stay away from those picks.
I think Diana was fine here as well. I think, like I said, I heard some people were talking about how Diana wasn't that great for game 1. I think game 1, yes, there are different junglers that probably would have done the same job, right? The initial engage, but I think Diana was fine there as well. It just wasn't. It didn't fit the draft. I think. And this game, it fitted the draft perfectly, but it wasn't executed properly.
And this game made sense, but it was executed absolutely horrible, to my opinion.
So yeah, EVO takes red side. So same side again.
All
Blue side
games,
first pick.
all 3 games were played on the same side from each other.
Yes.
I mean, they would probably want to play for counterpick mid now because they see Sovonix is just absolutely carrying
But they have
the games.
counterpick.
They have counterpick, but they still, if they go blue side, they don't have the counterpick from mid lane essentially. And Gucci's
Sure.
gonna take 100% take the counterpick for mid lane, and you're never gonna get the Karma first pick that's so evaluated by EVO itself. So you're probably just gonna go to red side, take the counterpick mid, and hope you can outplay him in the solo lane.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like the man is cracked. You had counterpick against him, right? You got your mid laner on his OTP on his main, and he still got through the lane. So yeah, I don't know. I think Evo needs to play. They need to play. They need to play properly, and that's how they win. They get the draft. They get everything. But I think we should slowly start heading out because I think we want silver scrapes, of course, and the game should start in 3 more minutes. So with this, I will give a little break for everyone to catch up and get ready into game 3, and let's hope it just gets another banger. And we will be here for a post-game interviews with whoever will be the winner. Quick MVP of last game. I mean, we both.
Sovonix.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sovonix.
We don't need to talk about. So with
I
that,
need to pronounce it well. It's like Sovonix, right? Or Sovonix.
I think so. But yeah. With that, we will let you guys enjoy the silver scrapes, and our casters will take it up after that.
Let's see, guys.
I think we have a little bit of a technical difficulty, so I will just keep us entertained for a second. But it's good game. I don't know. My agenda doesn't go further than this.
Yeah. Oh, should there, Ringo?
Spam. It might get. They was good. Spam hydrates for our team, for our casters. So games. Okay, thank you guys. Enjoy.
We talk, the more we get along, it's easier.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, hello guys! Hi, we weren't expecting you so soon. We were doing it over table.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys heard of our conversation, but me and Zatos were having a close emotional bonding in our hot tubs.
We were talking about how in love we are with casting for you guys and how great the community is. Definitely, we definitely didn't say anything else. Didn't we?
Yeah, and the hot tub, it's pretty good temperature right now.
Yeah, I know.
Bubbles are kicking.
Oh yeah, guys, you should hear the bubbles. It's great.
We're already in draft. Oh, wait, are we in draft? Yeah, I think we're in draft. I think we're in draft, and we kind of missed out a bit, but
Sanix, let's restart this, okay? Let's restart. Let's have a proper welcome, okay? We can't leave. The final game of the actual finals. To psych as boring as this. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. It's Gucci Gaming versus Team Evolution. Both teams have won one game. Gucci Gaming came with a fiery comeback, taking the second game in a dominating victory in around 26 minutes. We are in Champ Select right now. We see Team Evolution did pick the Viego guy for a slightly different team comp, and then with the Rakan to go with it, and it's looked like Gucci Gaming did go for the Thresh and with the Trundle, and they're trying to take away the Xayah away from Team Evo to get rid of the Xayah Rakan.
Yeah, obviously we did miss out a bit of a draft, so apologies from our side. But yeah, as you said, banning out the Ahri as well on Team Evo, a pick that did very good on Sovonix last time around. Team Evolution choosing red side again, so it's 3 games on red for Team Evo here. And R3, what would they pick? I think probably ADC is a very good pick here, and then or you pick top and ban 2 champions, right, for top side. But so far the draft looking very, very different, and Rakan's a champion that does have a lot of map pressure, does want to move on the map and create plays and opportunities around the map. And I think that's definitely something Evo was looking to do last game, but they were falling too far behind as we see a LeBlanc lock in on R3, and they will ban out the Syndra and possibly another counter to LeBlanc.
Dion is feeling himself this series. We've got so many champions with high mechanical skill coming out from him. First, we had the Zoe, then we had the Yasuo, one of his signature picks. Even Yasuo is open. He decided to go for the LeBlanc. Having the AP mid laner and the AD jungler is a really good composition right now. Into the Trundle as well. Trundle really doesn't have a champion that he can really get on and stick to. So it's coming out strong from the side of Team EVO. But they did decide to ban the Syndra away, as it is a good counter into the LeBlanc, as Gucci Gaming does ban out the On. The simple, but very effective tank in the top lane.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have just picked Malphite again. It seemed to work pretty fine last time round, right? Yeah,
Oh,
Ornn was
good
winning
old
the
Jeff. Oh, the ultimates. Oh, slapping him up about, season 1 champion looking like a season 11 champion.
Yeah, he hit him. Ornn was hitting hard, right? Ornn was proper boxing him up in top lane, and then all of a sudden, Malphite picked up 2 kills, and Malphite was just slapping him about on top side. So, whew, as we see the Cassiopeia ban. Thoughts?
To keep Savonix down. They know that this guy is really one of the main key components of Gucci Gaming winning these games. They're trying to stop him from doing anything in these games, banning out 4 of his champions. But we'll have to see what Team Evolution is going to be picking next.
Oh, and it's a Vayne. Oh,
The insta-lock.
We've seen Ori in this series against Vitagen picking Vayne in game 3 and absolutely popping off. Doing incredibly well. And again, Team Evolution is in a spot, game 3 of a series, picking the Vayne on Ori here. So I think it is a very comfort pick for him. And yeah, he's just going for it. And if he has anything similar to the performance of last time round, I think this is already looking very strong for EVO. On the other side, though, we do see the Galio lock in. We might get it paired with a never mind, Camille's banned, my bad. But yeah, we do see a Galio locked in. And this time around, Gucci Gaming's draft is, again, I feel like much more over the place than what Team Evolution is.
I would completely agree with you there. But remember, Zavonix did have 4 champions banned there, but his champion pool is just so deep that he is able to pick out the Galio. We could maybe see a J4 coming out right here. LeBlanc will be able to escape, same with the Rakan, but they would be able to lock down the Vayne. But it's looking like the Malphite is just the key player of the day today. If the Malphite is able to hit an ultimate, imagine a Galio on top of that, you are not going to be able to escape. And this also helps the Thresh to get the secondary engage.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, a shout out to Rengo when he played in RT1 last split as a top laner, and it was Malphite duty all the time. But yeah, anyways, on Team EVO, I think we're seeing here possibly a Morgana pick, so something to just spell shield the Vayne, make sure that she doesn't get bumped down by all the picks. But we do see a Gragas, and that's gonna be a Gragas top for Bobo. A champion that Bobo's done very good in previously in their previous matches. So yeah, again, top lane is just a tank v tank matchup. Bobo could be looking for a more AP playstyle on it, but they do need a front line. And the thing with Gragas, it's a champion that peels really well. I don't think there's any other champion in League that has so much peeling capabilities as Gragas does. And yeah, Bobo being put on a comfort pick here, I think it's very important.
Now, for everybody, if you see at the top of stream chat, if you can take a prediction, who do you think is going to win? This is the final game to see which team is going to get to the grand finals. Do you want Gucci Gaming to win, or do you want Team Evolution to win? Put your votes in now. We have around 4 to 5 minutes before we get into this game. We have so much to talk about. Both of these team comps really is going to be an explosive fight, having a Vayne and a LeBlanc on Team Evolution. Not even talking about the Viego as well. Just so much damage on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just, game 1, slow-paced game, turned into a very bloodbath game. Game 2, just straight out of the bat. Game opening, invade, flash mid, flash gone, killing Kog'Maw on bot, getting first blood, ganking bot again, waiting in a bush, and just a lot of kills happening all around the board, and that's waiting to Gucci's favor. So is Team EVO going to be looking for a same type of playstyle as they did last game? So a lot of looking for fights, which eventually didn't actually work out for them, or is it going to be a much more slower paced game like they did in game 1, which did work out for them? But when you pick champions like LeBlanc, when you pick champions like Rakan, I think you are saying that, look, we are going to be looking for these picks, these skirmishes, because we do have the ability to kill you. And especially if you get those kills, if you get a Viego reset off, it is very, very big for Team Evolution.
And it's going to be easy to get this Viego resets off. Rakan is going to be a simple engage for him. You also, on top of that, have the LeBlanc to able to burst them down, even with the Vayne to able to follow up, because you only need to kill one player, and Viego will be able to take over the full team fight if he plays it correctly.
Yeah, and again, as you were saying, right? Obviously, Galio mid lane, it's a champion that people do look at and are like, okay, this guy is kind of supportive, right? But he does have a lot of damage in his kit. The thing with Galio is he's not really a DPS, right? He kind of wants people to go in and then he can ult on top. And you have Savage then on the Xayah, and that's kind of it for the like main DPS of the team, right? And the Xayah has the ult, has the Thresh Lantern for survivability, but can you really survive a LeBlanc burst? There's so much damage coming out of that champion that, once Xayah's dead, if Gucci Gaming isn't ahead, if the Malphite isn't fed like last game, if Sovonix on mid, who this time for the third game is actually not on a carry pick like he was the previous 2 games, are you going to have enough damage in your team comp?
It is looking like it will be a hard game for Gucci Gaming. Team Evolution does look like they do have the better draft. But remember, Gucci Gaming came out with a massive win with only 26 minutes to take down Team Evolution before. Team Evolution may have taken first game, but Gucci Gaming is riding the wave. They are feeling good about themselves after last game. So they may be able to, because of the mechanical skill difference in the last game, maybe take this to take them to the finals with it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the main focus of this game is how LeBlanc will deal into Galio. If the LeBlanc does get the snowball, if the LeBlanc does get the items off, it does get ahead and makes it so Galio can really respond on the map and is able to match the obviously roam timers and everything Galio has, right? Galio's ult just says, look, you can chill out mid lane. I'm just going to fly to another lane, knock people up and taunt and CC and just do damage and we're going to kill people. But again, you have a weak side top lane on Malphite, right? A champion that doesn't have a lot of damage, does have the gank set up with his ult, but you can't really play around the top side. And you have a Xayah bot lane who is probably going to be getting engaged on by Rakan, and there's a lot of possibility for that Xayah to just get bursted down, because if Rakan hits his ult W, that's a charm, a knock up, and I think that a LeBlanc can burst the Xayah down before Savage can get his ult off. So I don't know. I think this is going to be a very rough game for Gucci if Team Evolution doesn't fall behind early game.
But remember, Thresh is a very, very threading pick. We saw what was able to happen last time Gucci Gaming got this Thresh pick. So them receiving this again, they may be able to get this bot lane ahead. Because if Thresh is able to hit a hook on this Vayne, Siren Thresh should be able to burst the Vayne down enough to maybe get a lead in this bot lane.
Yeah, that you're saying the last time they got Thresh, they also lost that game. So it's kind of bit of both worlds there, as we are going to be heading the game in the next 3 minutes. Everyone picked their champions here. So, we're talking about draft here. Who do you think, after all of this high-level intellectual debate that we just had?
Big great things only League of Legends players could think of course.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah, no one else.
Yeah, I'm not sure if chat can follow us. We're just so smart.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're not trying to ego. I hope this is not like no one is gonna tune out of this, but we're just smart, I guess.
Yeah, I think every League of Legends player is smart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody in chat agrees, right?
Because you have to have a reason to play League, because no sane person would actively play League, right?
Wait,
as much as we do.
Sanix, we messed up, man.
We messed up?
Any smart person wouldn't play League, so all of us are dumb. Yeah, Sanix. We messed up.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that one, Chief. I like to consider myself as a very smart individual.
Sanix, we'll talk about it afterwards. But we do have to say that all the players in this game, all 10 of them, have worked so hard and have done so well to get through this far. They've had to beat 2 other teams to even get into this position, and they had to be in a good enough seeding in the bracket to even be in the top side.
Yeah, and we're talking about how both teams had a lot of players that played good, but there are also mistakes that were being made from both teams. Obviously, Gucci Gaming last time round wasn't punished enough. The Kog'Maw was by himself quite a lot on the map, right? So it was something that EVO could have potentially looked at. Obsidian was going for plays very deep in the jungle without vision that got him caught out. Both games, actually. But yeah, there's a lot of these misplays coming out from both teams that situations that could be punished or do get punished. That could be the win conditions for either team as well. Not just coming out of draft, not coming out of making like proper picks or just that. It's just punishing these mistakes that I think were evident in both games so far.
Now, one thing I do want to talk about here, we're having a little bit of a sellout moment. So, for the production of SLE, we do it for just free. We do it for everyone here, but we also would mind if anybody here does enjoy the stream, give everyone a follow, really get part of the community because this is the best part of the whole entire thing. And there's also a thing called Twitch Prime. If you do have a Twitch Prime, you just have to, give it to the team, give it to the players, as it will be given out to people around to really support everyone who is doing this. But we do have 20 seconds to go, so my little sellout is done there, and it's going to be a good game, I think.
And now
both
the most
teams
important part of the game is coming up, actually. The skin game, right?
Oh, I do adore the skin game. We go get started fast, right? It seems like all 10 players have good PCs here.
Yeah, I mean, we go fast, analyze fast, bam, 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 bam. That's it. Last time around, no skin top, no skin jungle. It's kind of easy, but then the mid lane one is kind of where we got to a halt. So,
it's gonna be bam, bam, bam. You gotta be ready, all right? You're on your toes.
Okay, I'm on my toes. No skin top, Gragas winning. Jungle, I think Viego wins. Mid lane, Galio obviously no skin. Bot lane, I think the edge goes to Vayne and Thresh on Gucci. I think it's even.
No, I disagree. I think it goes over to the side of Gucci Gaming. Do you know why? 4 skins to 3. Simple win. And look at that Galio skin, the Birdio skin. How can you get better than that?
4 to 3. Oh yeah, LeBlanc doesn't have a skin. Right. You're right.
Do you think
you're right.
It was a skin?
Verdio skin is big as we are heading into the game here. It is a 1-1. It is the last game of the series, and as you said around 15 times so far, the winner of this game is going into the grand finals. So it is going to be a banger.
If we could ask the management if they could slightly make the screen a bit bigger for the casters, be much more appreciated. Thank you. Now, everybody, are you ready? This is the final game of the finals. We do have the grand finals after this, but who is going to get there first? Is it going to be Gucci Gaming against EVO? As they are trying to look for side Gucci Gaming, Bobo is in a good position to spot this, and he does spot it out. He does have to run right now, and it's looking like Gucci Gaming is not looking for anything more. But Evo Kill is trying to place a ward down into the enemy jungle because of this. And they're already starting with a bit of spice, this Evo side. They're really feeling themselves after last game.
Yeah, and actually what's interesting, Gucci actually looked for some type of engages or just 5-man plays early on in every game so far, which just means that they usually are getting warded out into the jungle, which means that Evo can actually track them along the course of the game. But obviously, last game, that didn't really work out when, Yeon went for that deep ward, got punished, had to flash, so he doesn't die.
Logog did get a little bit of poke off on him, but luckily he is a Trundle. He does, farm decently well, having decent HP in the jungle, so it shouldn't be too bad there. And it is looking like the side of Evo will have a slight advantage in the bot lane, as they will be there slightly faster.
Yeah, and obviously that ward is on the red buff. Both junglers will kind of know where the enemy jungler is starting because that ward is on their Raptors from the side of Evo, so they will see that Trundle isn't really going over it, and will be like, look, Trundle didn't go over it. He's not really a champion that wants to full clear, so he's probably starting top side, passing towards bot, and that should be happening any moment now. I think we might be seeing a ping or two on that ward.
It is looking like Viego is going for a 6-camp clear, and I do like to see Jeff. Jeff is, on the champ, I feel like he's most comfortable on. A simple name for a simple character. Just a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Season 1 character, a name that also feels like if, world names were, a thing. It sounds like Jeff is like a pretty common name through the course of history as well. So, nothing new there. Season 1 name, Season 1 champion.
One thing very important that we did just spot there is Logog wasn't really spotted on that ward here, so they don't know his exact jungle path. They would probably guess that he is near bot lane right now, but the ward was spawned just 5 seconds too early, meaning that he wasn't able to get caught on this, as we do see a slight look in the mid lane right now. We do see LeBlanc engaging here. Galio is trying to escape. He does have flash. The Ignite's already down. One more flash coming out, and that is one dead Savonic. He is one of the main characters right now, as Logog is looking for Psych. He's very, very low. Yeon can re-engage here, as it does look like Gucci Gaming is losing in this mid lane right now. But Savonic does have the TP.
Yeah, and that's 2 flashes burned and TP on Sovonix as well. So obviously EVO burning the flashes as well. But getting that first blood is very big. Again, gold swing for the side of EVO. We've seen this last game as well. And Loco as well on bot lane. They managed to crash the wave and he did roam up mid. But it was just a bit too late. Obviously couldn't respond to the play. And yeah, that's a first blood over to LeBlanc. Getting that longsword, actually. I don't know if he started longsword. I think he did, but that's very interesting itemization. Obviously, LeBlanc, a champion that does kind of struggle with last hits, with her auto attacks, and just playing against a champion like Galio, who does very well into mages, you know, has that magic shield, has that MR in his kit. So getting that longsword just means that you are going to be getting much more poke into him.
It does look like Savage is going to go for the lethality build here. You can see it by the airy pick, and of course he'll be going for the Mana Moon first item, as it does look like Thresh is hovering his jungle here, so it should go over to Gucci Gaming with the ward. But no, it gets stolen by Obsidian. It's really not going Gucci way this game.
Yeah, and also now that you pointed out lethality Zaya, I feel like that just means that Gucci's gonna have even less DPS in their game. So I feel like it's just very hard. I think this game is already in a very hard spot for Gucci because they are a team that needs to be ahead with the draft they have.
There's only one good thing for him though. You have to remember, Vayne is very easy to kill. Even with first item, it should be easy to kill as they are trying to relook in his mid lane. And Yeon is dominating Sovonix right now. It's looking like all the pressure coming out from Obsidian in his mid lane is definitely helping him out here. But what I was going to talk about was, on the side of Gucci Gaming, they're going against players that are very, very easy to kill. Obsidian is quite a immobile carry, as a hook does come out onto Evo kill, and even with the E out, does the Ignite tick down? The flash comes out from both players, the ultra attack barely misses, and the flash comes out from Savage as well. Is he able to get the stun? No, he isn't. And Ori is just able to survive. Kill was so lucky to get out there.
They were both very lucky to get out there. You had a long train of thought. You said, you know, the good thing about Gucci here that was still they also won the second game.
I will actually, finish here. So basically, EVO has very weak champions that are easy to kill. For example, the Vayne, for example, the Rakan. And, even with the mid lane, LeBlanc, if you're able to engage on them, even if you don't have that much high damage, they should still die in these team fights.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. But again, they have the gold lead. Obviously, Sovonix in mid lane has that CS lead into a ranged matchup. The thing with LeBlanc, right? When you're playing into Galio, if you kind of, the standard bread and butter LeBlanc combo is you throw your Q, you jump in with your W and you auto attack to proc electrocute and you go out, right? But Galio does very well into that because you can buffer your W the moment you see LeBlanc jumping into you. Small taunt, E in, you're gonna get the aftershock, so you're gonna take less damage and you actually win out the trade. So it is a range into melee matchup, but it is a bit Galio-sided actually.
But Galio did just tick over to the level 6, which means that his runs will be a lot more potent right now as he gets a little bit of a stun in the mid lane. He does get stunned up by Yeon right now. Remember, Obsidian is right here. There's no flash on Sovonix. They can look for this, but it's looking like he will barely escape. Trundle is right in the way of where he wants to be going inside of Obsidian as a flash comes out, and Jeff just understands this Malphite champion to a T. He is dominating games with this.
Yeah, and again, that flash from Bobo was a bit unnecessary there, burning the flashes, I guess. But yeah, Jeff getting that solo kill on top lane, very nicely done from him. Again, Malphite's a champion that, doesn't really need as much gold. You get one item and then you're kind of chilling. But yeah, that's basically going to allow Gucci to pick up the first dragon here. Bobo needs to TP back top. And mid lane Yeon is low on mana, so they can't really contest it. And I think this time around, EVO's doing much better to just being like, look, we can't fight this, let's not fight this, because I think that was an issue last game where they were just going for fights when they were very, not in their favor. So now they're just deciding to actually a bit think about the fights they're taking, and yeah. They have that gold lead right now, even though...
Remember, Gucci Gaming does have a stronger bot lane right now. E is still available for Savage, but he doesn't want to do it. The Featherstorm just didn't want to come back in time, allowing Kill to get an easy escape. This bot lane is being quite explosive right now.
Yeah, it's being quite explosive, but I do think the Vayne, once Ori will be on 2 items here, he will be very big, and the Zaya... very low on mana, very dangerous territory.
Barely have enough for the ultimate right now. Remember, Obsidian is in the bush, but he has not been spotted. we do see that Gucci Gaming is slowly pushing against EVO. It's all up to Kill if he's able to find an engage. He does not have flash up though. He does get the engage, but it just isn't anything. Loco is in a little bit of no man's land. Flash does come out. LeBlanc is there as well. And that is going to be one dead support on the side of Gucci Gaming.
Yeah, and Herald getting started here, I think, from Jeff. I think it might have just been a mistake, maybe just a barrel, something hit it, but they will be doing the Herald here, but Savage under tower might be getting Dolvin.
Leon was looking to stop him from farming right there, as Avonix is going to look for something. He doesn't have enough damage to kill Obsidian. He's in a very bad spot if he tries to look for this. Ricard is also nearby. We'll have to see if he will try anything. He's probably calling for his team right now, screaming, guys, help, help, help. As he does hit the W onto one player, but he's able to use the blast cone out and just barely not enough damage. Kill is really, again, so lucky with getting out in these team fights.
Yeah, now obviously Viego being spotted in the bot side jungle just means the Logo could look for topside invades here. They don't know where Viego is. He could be running straight to topside here, so EVO could read this play and just move towards it, but I don't think they do. Oh, actually, there is a ping on Trundle here. Viego is starting to move up there, but I think Trundle will be getting out with the red buff.
Leon won't really be able to engage on this one now, and Savonix does have the ultimate. As the ultimates come out from the top lane right now, the slap fight is in full commence, and it's just looking like both players just don't have enough damage as Logo gets out with the red buff.
Yeah, and again, in comparison to last game, this game is much more slower pace, which seems like it suits EVO in the way they want to play. They do have the 1k gold lead right now. The Dragon will probably be up in another 2 minutes or so. But yeah, EVO is in a really good spot right now, I feel like, on mid lane.
It's a small little poke in the mid lane. We do see Logog near, but Yeon being able to dash back keeps him to safety.
Yeah, Kill not on his ult yet, so you know, once that Rakan hits level 6, it really just unlocks all your team fighting possibilities for the whole team. Obviously, Viego is on level 6 again, and Thresh on the other side is also level 5. So, you know, ADCs, Ori has a bit of an XP lead here. Not that it really matters too much, but
the only one we can really see is Jeff is half a level up on Bobo, but there's nothing too much to see here. And also on top of that, we do see EVO has just under a 1k gold lead. I would really like to see one of these teams move their bot lane up to try and get Rift held, which should be spawned in a couple minutes.
yeah. As you were saying, Kill's XP bar is actually very, very low. Like he wasn't close to 6 even. He was at the start of level 5 actually. So that's where, you know, Ori's XP actually is, and why he does have that slight XP lead. But this massive wave will even it out. I think it will give Savage that level 7 as Kill finally hits level 6.
I did miss out that we did see Logog get the Rift held right now, as they are trying to look for an invade right now. They do have to push in the mid lane. They should be able to try and secure vision for this dragon. Obsidian is nearby. If Rakan is able to look for Psych in this bot lane, they should be able to get a kill at least.
Yeah, and that dragon is coming up soon. And Obsidian will be just moving around bot side here. Could be looking for a play, like you said, on bot lane here. With Rakan ult, as I mentioned before, it does really unlock everything you want on the map. 1.3k gold lead, 1.4, sorry, for the side of EVO here. So EVO slowly extended their lead, mostly through that CS on bot.
Look at Vonix. Vonix in a very dangerous place. He tries to ult out, but he gets stunned instantly. And this is devastating. So Vonix is one of the main people to try and bring Gucci Gaming some of their success. So him dying here is very bad for the team as well. And it's looking like Drake will be going over to EVO.
Yeah, and that ult was, I feel like, they kind of walked past each other, Obsidian and Sovonix. Obsidian walked in the bush and was like, oh, wait, there's someone in the bush. And yeah, it was just very unlucky timing. I think again, Sovonix tried to buffer his ult. I don't know if you can really do that, but it got cancelled out by the stun. And yeah, he paid the price for it. I don't know if he burned flash in that fight, but on bot side here, we're seeing
Ori coming out with the Ori right now. Savage wasn't able to hit the ultimate right now, but what is that damage coming out from Xayah? Loco is trying to give the kill over, trying to not auto attack, but because he didn't want to take the kill, he's able to get out there, trying to re-engage right now. The ignite does come out. Loco is looking like he's in no man land, and Obsidian is taking full advantage. He's trying to get the kill. The Zhonya's does come out, but Savage just doesn't have the damage to kill this. But Savonix is coming in. Is Loco going to survive? He misses the hook. Is he able to? The fly away. And how is everybody surviving this? But look at Yeon. Yeon is looking for sight. Gets a double dash. Gets the Q and the auto attack and gets the escape. Savonix does have W up, coming very, very soon, but it just isn't up in time as he gets a double stun. Savage, it's all on him. Can he do anything? And it's just so unlucky from both sides. But overall, Obsidian is really, you know, taking it on his back and getting EVO to win that team fight.
Meanwhile, on top, obviously, Bobo got dove and Herald used on top as well, and that's going to be first start for Gucci. So even though that fight happened on bot side, Gucci does trade back and does even out the gold actually to a no gold lead for either team. The gold is dead even right now, as it is.
Like, in how many League of Legends games have you seen where both teams have the same amount of gold in 14 minutes? This usually doesn't happen. You usually have a team that gets slowly, progressively stronger than the other one until there's a big explosive team fight where one of them has a huge gold lead. But in games like this, both teams are just so closely matched that both teams just have the same amount of gold.
Yeah, and the most gold in the team, in the game, is right now on the Malphite.
As we have supportal combat, Savonix is nearby, the Lantern does come out, Evo Kill does use the ultimate to barely escape. That will not be up for the next Rift Herald if he does want to use it there.
Yeah, as I was saying, most gold in the game is currently on the Malphite, right? But that's not someone you want the gold on. And if we you know, once we saw it, most of the gold in the game is actually on the Evo carries, on that Viego, on that LeBlanc, and on that Vayne. So those champions are really gonna carry out. Meanwhile, Gucci has the one carry on the Xayah, but again, as I was mentioning in the draft before, there's very little damage on the side of Gucci, and once, you know, the carry especially has so little gold in comparison to the other, you know, their counterparts, it's looking rough already. Even though the gold lead is even, yeah, I think it's pretty rough already for the side of Gucci here. 1-1 in Dragon.
Savonix did look for something in the mid lane, was able to get his W off trying to taunt them, but it just wasn't enough as Ian was able to jump out. There's going to be a big team fight as there's 4 players up from the side of Gucci, 5 players up from Team of Evil. Both these teams want the second Rift Herald. Savonix does have ultimate, he's trying to push out this mid lane.
Yeah, the thing with Galio, right, you want to push out the mid wing, but yeah, as you're saying, both these teams positioning around here, but look at Savage, he's not yet there, so Evo has the window to look for an engage right now. All the ults are
Leon
out.
is looking for Savage right now, he is engaging on him. Savonix is trying to do everything he can as they're trying to keep up the Rift Herald. Savonix barely escapes with the ult and the exhaust as there's an engage coming out from Kill right now. Bobo is there as well, but Bobo is having huge damages near Knight, ticks him down, or he is in the backline, or he's dealing huge damage. Rakan's only on his own right now. Gucci Gaming is seeming to be winning out in this cluster of a fight. So Obsidian is running from his life from Savonix. Savonix does not have Ignite or anything, so Obsidian should be safe as Jeff does take over to level 11.
Yeah, and as we were saying, it all turns now in the favor of Gucci winning that one fight. Savage getting caught out in the back, ulting. Yeon not getting the pick off of him, but then they just shifted their focus onto the tanks, onto the front line of Gucci, you know, not where the damage actually is. And Savage was kind of, you know, left alone to hit what he wants. Obsidian was trying to kill him, but it just wasn't enough. And I think just the target focus on the side of Evo was incorrect in that fight.
They are spawning in the Rift Herald mid lane, trying to open up this game, allowing them to get a little bit more pressure against the enemy team, allowing them to, you know, really bring this game to a place where they can take it over.
Yeah, the gold lead now, 2k gold almost for the side of Gucci. Dragon is coming up in the next minute or so, and it is Cloud Soul again. So 2 out of 3 games this time. It has been Cloud Soul. And yeah, this fight, how would you approach it if you're Evo? You know, losing the previous fight.
Evo's comp is, I think, even with this Gragas, the team just doesn't feel tanky enough. This Vayne did have to go for, you know, the ADC item where after the 3rd ultra attack you deal huge damage against tanks. This is the best item she has, but she's only 1 item in. If I was the side of Evo, I'd try and take this team fight as slow as possible and allow your Vayne to do whatever she can. But it just feels like just the team isn't tanky enough for Vayne.
Yeah, also Vayne does have PTA, so that's much less damage in the actual fight, right? Lethal Tempo is generally the rune you would see on Vayne, right? The longer the fight goes, the more attack speed you get and the stronger you are, and Vayne generally is an attack orientated champion. So
as we talk about this, Evo is maybe looking for something top side. Jeff does understand that there are at least minimum 3 people top side. He is a very tanky man as his team does take the dragon right now as Savonix does go up to level 11. This game is really going the way of Team Gucci Gaming. They tried to make something happen topside, but it just wasn't able to work because of how tanky this Malphite is.
Yeah, and I feel like EVO's saving grace right now is the fact that it is Cloud Soul after all, so not a soul that generally does too much for you in the game, in the grand scheme of things, right? It just gives you what, when you ult, you get some movement speed, and that's kind of it. And out of combat movement
Okay.
speed.
I understand it in most team comps, but I'm gonna give you a few names of champions with ultimates you might be a bit scared of. You ready?
Yeah.
Malphite. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll say again. Malphite.
Yeah, but
Oh,
what's he
and
gotta
then-
do? Run fast?
Yeah, and then you have Galio as well, that's able to get on top of you with his W to get a mass taunt, able for the Trundle when he ults you to get more speed to get on top of you, allowing Desire as well with the ultimate to run further away or get closer with the team, and with Thresh as well with the ult, so he's able to, really CC people and, play with his range. It seems like a very good Cloud Soul for this whole entire team of Gucci.
Yeah, actually, looking at it, Rakan would have done really good with Cloud Soul, and so would Vayne. So, again, other souls would probably be much, much better. For example, if you had a Mountain Soul and you got that on the Malphite, the Rock would be unkillable.
I would agree,
Quoting
Vayne-
Malphite, he would be rock solid.
He would definitely be rock solid. But Bobo, we'll have to see if after a few more items he will be able to tank up a little bit more. It's looking like this may be going into a Frozen Heart with his tier, but we'll have to see.
No, the Malphite is building into Frozen Heart, and I think Bobo is building into the Fimbulwinter, or whatever the tanky tier item is. The one where you CC or slow someone and you get a shield. So that's what Bobo is looking for here. And yeah, otherwise, itemization, obviously LeBlanc is very close to completing the Void Staff. Diego is building up towards, buying the pickaxe. It does leave your options open for either Blade or Death's Dance. I think Death's Dance is a very good pickup here for the Diego, as Gucci is looking for an invade here.
They are trying to stop Obsidian from farming up. We know how scary the Viego champ can be when he's able to do anything here, but he's just getting pushed out of his jungle. This just shows how far Gucci Gaming is ahead in these team fights. This is the power of having tanks that are able to really, get in there and brawl while the enemy team is just so squishy you're able to one-shot. As they do engage onto Yeon right now, Yeon does have ultimate, but look at the chomp down from Logog. This is why the champion is almost permaban in SLE.
Yeah, that's a very nice ult, a very nice catch onto the LeBlanc. LeBlanc, a very slippery champion as well. So actually getting caught out there on the LeBlanc is very surprising.
Logog does get it smited away from Obsidian right now. And just EVO isn't able to do anything. Their full jungle is getting taken away from them. Also, Baron is up right now, so Gucci Gaming could go for a Baron play where they try and make the enemy team come towards them and try and pick them off.
And yeah, before the series actually started, the analysts were saying that this could be a 2-1 for Gucci Gaming, with EVO taking game 1, and it is looking like that so far, as we are seeing our third pause of the series so far.
One a game, the usual.
Yeah, the usual. Yeah, you have to have a bit of a pause, catch a breather during the game, just relax a bit.
Now, if you were to side over EVO, you should be a little bit concerned. But your one saving grace is, look at Yeon. He has 4 kills to his name, 153 CS, the most CS, well, not the most CS, the second most CS behind his AD carry. And even with his AD carry as well, if you just allow your players to farm on EVO, you should be able to, outscale the enemy team and just take over these team fights. Because if Vayne gets to 2-3 items, she should really be able to kill these tanks.
Yeah, especially that Vayne is pretty close to completing her items. Like that Rage Blade is just a few 100 gold away. So yeah, in that department, I feel like if EVO just waits it out and gets the items, it might be very good for them. But we were saying, if Gucci gets the lead, it will be hard for EVO. And even though EVO had that early lead, yeah, Gucci coming back into the game somehow. Very interesting. Very, very interesting that they managed to get it back into the lead with the comp they do have. As I did expect EVO to, once they get the lead, to just kind of snowball it into a very one-sided game.
But what I do want to talk about as well is, with this Malphite and him going into the Frozen Heart here, it's a very good choice, as you do have Viego and the Vayne, who are very auto-attack oriented.
Yeah, and the Malphite being so fed, right? We saw what he did last game, being so far ahead in gold. And again, this game, it's just the Malphite is someone that, you know, EVO's going to have issues dealing with here.
As we do have a small little leg spike, it should finish in a second. This usually happens after that. It's a small pause, but it should fix itself in the next 5 to 10 seconds. There we go. That's how much it happens that we're used to it, you know? See, we even get the little question mark as well. But EVO Kill did just finish his first item. Both supports finally have their items completed. So if they do want to engage on the side of EVO, it should be a lot easier with the battle song.
Yeah, and Dragon is coming up again. Varen is up, so what these teams are going to decide to do, they could be looking to trade, maybe an objective for objective, but I don't think that's really what EVO wants. I do think they want to go for a fight, but I also don't think they want to trade right now, right? They either leave Dragon to Gucci and don't look for a trade and just look to, you know, accelerate their items, because sometimes you just need to drop the dragons, right? Because you can't really contest. Gucci can't just mill the dragon and roam, and if they roam and just rotate to you, you will lose out that fight. So they're in a really rough situation here with what they actually want to do in the game.
Gucci Gaming needs to pick someone off or burst someone down in these team fights to make it happen. As Ori is trying to look for something here, maybe hiding in the bush, but it's just waiting for his team. As Gucci Gaming is doing exactly what I was saying about trying to hide in this bush. They do have the control wards around. They have all the vision they need over this dragon right now. As it's looking like they will be giving this up, as they're going to be hard pushing this bot lane, hard pushing this mid lane, and this top lane as well, trying to get anything they can. As the reset from Malphite is coming out, he does have TP. As Loco may be looking for Psyche, he does have flash, but the battle song comes out and Ori just barely survives it.
Yeah, and meanwhile on mid lane, we just see Yeon hitting that tower. Obviously no objective bounties. Bobo on top hitting the tower as well, so this might just be 2 towers for the side of EVO. That is some gold for them. Top tower falls, mid tower is going to fall here as well. So, you know, EVO trades the dragon, but do pick up the towers, and it does, you know, kind of bring the gold a bit back towards them. That's 1k gold in their pockets, and the lead is now only 1.2k for the side of Gucci. So
that was a really well played side from EVO, getting the 2 towers there, and even getting a little bit of farm on the bot lane right now, almost taking down all 3 outer towers, getting to the same as Gucci Gaming.
meanwhile Gucci
is now. Baron has been started by Gucci Gaming. EVO has no idea this is happening. Pings are coming out, but I'm not sure if they're going to get there in time. They were just bot lane, and this is why you don't keep your jungle bot side. When you have a Baron up right now, the ultimate does come out to try and stop it right now. They should look for a fight here. They're going to be slow and low, having the Baron buff there. The ultimates do come out. EVO Bobo still has ultimates, but no. EVO Kill getting 2 mans with the Galio are on top of it, but Savonix dealing huge damage. Getting a 2-man taunt. He is able to get Ori to flash away. Ori deals so much damage in his team fights, but he just isn't enough. Logog is on top of Ori. Is he able to get another kill? As he does, Yeon is running for his life. Same with the rest of his team, but it's just looking like the only player getting out will be Yeon and Obsidian.
Obsidian in the back has been doing a lot of work, killing out a lot of players on the side of Gucci, as Yeon is looking for the kill and Thresh here.
This could be an absolute change of pace, as Obsidian does get the takeover of their. Yeon does get it right now. The Lantern is getting used. Logo could get a 2-0 here. So much healing is coming out from Obsidian. This is huge damage as they're trying to play as slow as possible. 1 bite away. Can Logo do it? And that is the trundle we are talking about. As a theme of change, Sonya's Hourglass and Fimbulwinter have been completed, and same with Manamoon. A ton of items are getting completed. With how much?
Yeah, I think that was really unlucky for Yeon, then he missed his distortion either. If that would have hit, I think Trundle would have probably died, but he was getting kited out, and then in a moment his W came up, and he just ran in and wiped the floor. But Obsidian did a lot of work there in the back line of Gucci, getting a lot of kills, picking up Savage, picking up Malphite as well, getting the reset off.
I thought he was just in there and he was just finished, that they absolutely burst him. But no, this is the power of Viego. When he gets and heals from someone after he really takes them over, he can just take over the full team fight, as Ori is a little bit caught out, but is able to dash away.
And I actually don't know if Savage had his ult up, as we're looking at a fight here mid.
As EVO Kill is already dead, as Bobo does use the ultimate to try and help his team escape right now. And it's looking like they are barely able to take away all the CS in the mid lane. So Gucci Gaming needs to wait till the next minion wave to fight.
Yeah, and as I was saying, once you possess the Malphite, who also has Anatimas now, so I wonder who that is
Onyx
on.
has flash, be careful. It's looking like nothing will be coming off it. They will be barreling down this mid lane. They do have Baron buff, and they just don't have enough damage on the side of EVO. As the hook does land on the side of Loco, and Bobo is no more. The Gragas was meant to be the tank for the team, but it's looking like he just isn't able to do enough with the 2 items he has, as they do get the inhibitor right now. And are they going to be looking for anything more? No, it's looking like they will be
doesn't
trying
look
to
like
go
it.
for top lane tower.
It was also very unlucky for Eva, right? If they would have killed the Trundle there, it would have meant no Baron buffs on the side of Gucci, but Gucci here with 1 buff on that Trundle are just moving on the map as 5 now and just sieging all the towers they can, just buffing all the minions that they can. Also Dragon Soul coming up for 1 minute in for Gucci, so could be looking for that, and I think that might be the next explosive fight if Evo do decide to contest it.
It's definitely a hard position for Evo to beat, but they still have a chance in this game. Neo does get a little bit of damage off, as Jeff does go in with the Malphite R, and then we have the Galio R as well, and Jeff is just not taking any prisoners today. He's showing the power of this Season 1 champions. Ori is getting huge damage in the backline. Savage and Ori are fighting against each other. Ori could really take over this team fight right now. He has a front line. He finally can do what he wants to do. Massive ultimate coming out from the Gragas right now. They are engaging. Ori getting a double kill right there. Looking for more, but it's looking like it will be nothing, as Gucci Gaming went slightly too far, and it's looked like Evo may even been able to pick up Drake off this.
Yeah, this was a very, very good fight for the side of Evo. Really capitalizing on, just the overstay from Gucci here, and they are forced to fall back from this dragon, and yeah, it's going to be a dragon pickup for Gucci. I mean, sorry, for Evo here. Obviously, Savonix and Logog are both going to be backing here. Savonix is staying. The ward doesn't hit the trap.
They needed. This is what Evo needs to try and get back into this game. If we could chart the gold grass right now, Vayne was able to get a couple kills and even get herself, so much gold in this game right now. Like, look at that. They are slowly edging their way back into this game, able to finally pick up the farm right now. And look at the Vayne. The Vayne is able to get up to the 3rd most gold, getting up to 10.7k gold. Maybe even after this midwave, getting a 3rd item.
Yeah, that would be very, very massive for the Vayne. Obviously, if she gets some survivability on her items as well, it would be very, very massive. But I do think that Evo realized that they do need to peel for the Vayne here. And that is what they've been doing. Baron will be coming up in the next minute or so, minute and a half probably. Vayne picking up, as you said, 3rd item, has the stopwatch as well. Viego has the Death's Dance. So kind of the core items on the players have been completed as well. LeBlanc, look at that, 2 large rods. That means that she is very close to that
The damage is
well.
going to be there for the side of Team Evo now. If Ori is able to, if they pill him correctly, this could really win them the game, as they are trying to clear all the vision away, so that Evo has to go into a jungle completely blind. And if you want to go into a Galio Thresh, even a Malphite R, you are a very, very dumb man, as they are looking to push this top lane.
Yeah, and obviously once you have no vision in the jungle, Team Evo has 2 Scryer's orbs, so they can just peek into the jungle, get some vision real fast, right? Just be like, is anyone in that bush? Let's just look real fast. But yeah, it's...
Look at Ori. He is the player to watch in this game. If Ori dies, Team Evo is done for. So they're trying to give as much gold as possible. You can even see it here. Nobody else is taking the mid lane farm except for him. Baron will be spawning in the next 20 seconds. This is one of the most crucial team fights that can happen. He has all abilities up. Bobo is trying to get a little bit of poke. Same with Jeff, trying to contest this mid lane.
And they could be looking for this.
He's okay. Bobo trying to get a little bit, but just not doing enough. Obsidian is in absolutely no man's land. They are chasing him down. Remember, Jeff does have ultimate. Does he want to use it or save it? Like, he will be saving it, as they're getting a little bit more pressure in the mid lane.
I don't think Evo wants to fight in this choke point, right? Especially when the enemy team has a Malphite, has a Galio ult as well, and especially Xayah Feathers. When you play Lethality Xayah, that's so much damage, it's just gonna rip all through you, as Gucci is deciding to start the Baron here.
This could be it. This could be the final fight to decide who will be getting to the finals, as they are slowly backing off it, but slightly trying to keep on it. Both teams really can't decide what they want to do. Evo wants to try and keep farming up, while Gucci Gaming is trying to look for a fight here, because if they're able to kill the only player on the team that deals huge damage, as Gion, my mistake, is dealing as much damage as this Vayne could.
Yeah, that was a very, very massive poke for from Yeon then, but obviously Trundle can just go into the jungle, take the Grand peel up, right? So it really isn't much, but it backed them off of that Baron. Objective bounty is falling off soon, so EVO is catching up in gold. They are only 3k gold behind right now, so doing a very nice job of just catching up in the game on their deficit.
Producer, could we take a look at the CS graphs? Just quickly show them up. Look at this, 8.3 farm. I guess the closest there was 6.9. Having 282 CS. No wonder 3 items are complete for this champion. One of the only people in the game to have 3 items, as it does look like the TP did come out from Jeff, and they have started up this Baron. All 5 players are here for Gucci Gaming, as the 2 main carries for EVO are not here yet. EVO really can't fight this right now. Gucci Gaming needs to burst it. Otherwise, they're going to be in a very, very dangerous situation. Yeon and Ori have just joined the fight. No one has started anything massive right now. Yeon over the wall again. Massive damage as Jeff has only built tank. Kill has gone in, got a double stun. Massive ultimate coming out from Savonic right now. But look at this Vayne. Vayne's in the backline, does get ultimate, but just get completely shut down by this. Ori does get the Zhonya's right now. Look at Ori. Ori flashes out right now. We see the Trundle on top. Trundle, is he able to do anything? No, nothing. As Obsidian in the backline is able to take over this fight. It's all up to Savage. Can Savage do anything? Savage is in the backline. Can he do anything? And it's looking like he cannot. It's 3 players against 2. So they're not able to take him down. I'm not even sure if they can take Baron.
No, I don't think they can, but they definitely stopped the Baron from Gucci Gaming here, and EVO is just showing that they're in a very, very good spot right now. That Viego shield is from the Galio passive. Obviously, when you possess and you get out of the possess, the shield stays with you until it falls off. So Dragon spawning in 10 seconds means that Gucci will not be getting the next soul. So EVO winning out that fight, getting the gold to only 900 gold deficit for EVO here is very, very, very crucial to them winning this game.
This is what we talked about. Late game, Gucci Gaming just doesn't have damage. So all these champions have finally got tank enough where you aren't able to fully burst them unless you use every single ability on them. Yeon, you can't even burst. You 100% can't burst Obsidian anymore. And then you also have re-engage and disengage coming out as EVO Kill is trying to look for something. No, just placing down a ward. And
yeah,
what
obviously, though,
swerve.
I do want to mention though that the Ori had stopwatch in that fight and had flash up. Next fight he will not have that. He does have Maw now though, and Maw basically saves him from the Galio damage, saves him from the Malphite dives. So as long as he is not taking damage from the Xayah, he really won't be taking that much damage unless Trundle gets on top of him, right? But with good peel, Trundle will never get on top of Ori here. So Ori is in a really good spot. We even see a 700 gold bounty on him. As on the other hand, Savage completes his Cerildas right now. So really good. 3 item lethality Xayah is usually where she spikes the most. So really good spot right now. Meanwhile, on top, I don't really like the itemization of Frozen Heart and Randoms because there's 2 unique passives that stack on each other. The damage one, right? You could organize it in the team that one person goes that and the other person goes randoms, especially with the Trundle or so.
The issue I see is that there are 2 Frozen Hearts on the side of Gucci Gaming. As massive damage comes out, you can see if you do not get any magic resist, Yeon will just abuse you and make sure that you have no HP left. Obsidian is still up and around. There are 3 massive damage threats coming out from EVO. This is what we're talking about. They may have not had the strongest early game, but EVO is bringing this back. They are trying to take over this game as they do get the second tower in the mid lane and get a lot more pressure. Bobo slightly out of position, but is able to E away.
Yeah, and that was also a big ult cooldown on the Trundle there. Trundle also buying Anathemas. I think that is for the Vayne. Obviously, Vayne dealing a lot of true damage.
Look at Savonic. Savonic, is he able to do anything? No, it's not looking like that. But LeBlanc is in the backside right now, trying to look for a flank, but Logog does spot him out. So LeBlanc does have to escape with their life. You can just tell all these teams, they're scared. They don't want to make their team lose this fight.
Yeah, obviously the next fight could just be the determining fight, right? We've seen very close fights this series. We've seen very close fights the first series. As the Thresh just recalled, could be a window for EVO to make a play on the map. Obviously, we see Galio alone on top, and Galio might be the one getting collapsed on here. They might force out his ult if he gets spotted out here.
Savonic does not have flash. his team is trying to catch up. He just needs to waste as much time as possible. He does have the Zhonya's up, so he can waste time. And it's looking like EVO will back off as they know their jungler isn't with them. It will be a 4 versus 5 if they fight. It's looking like both teams do disengage. This is the first time EVO has pressure over the Baron compared to the enemy team. Obsidian is a little bit out of place right now. Loco could look for something. Decides to only go for the hook, and the E from Obsidian gets him out.
Yeah, this game, 36 minutes in the game so far. Both teams on Soul Point. Dragon will be coming up in 2 minutes. Baron is up. The gold lead is dead even.
Both
Oh my
teams
god.
do have soul points. At any team that gets the next dragon will have the full entire dragon soul. So we'll have to see what happens. LeBlanc is not with her team right now and does not have TP. If Gucci Gaming is able to engage here, they will win the team fight. As Savonix does take over to level 16. Look at Lobog. Bobo's a little bit out, but Jeff does have the flash if he wants something.
Yeon is on top here, so this is their window for Gucci to do something. I don't know if they probably knew that he's on top. They probably spotted him pushing the wave. He just reset, going into base now, Dragon in a minute. So I think Gucci will be looking for vision on bot side. There's a reset coming out from the Thresh there, from the Jeff. I mean, from the Malphite. But yeah.
Has just been finished by Rakan right here, and it is looking like they are going to be resetting for the dragon that should be spawning next 1 minute 30.
And this could just be a trade. I don't think EVO really cares about the soul so much. I think they could just look for a Baron, and they are starting it. Baron is getting started up for EVO here, and I don't think Gucci even knows. I don't think they noticed, and EVO has so much damage in their kit with the
Gucci
Vayne.
has not spotted this at all. It is looking like it is going to go over to EVO right now. This is the first time EVO has been in the driving seat. They actually have more gold now, as they are looking like they are going to try and go for this dragon here. Kill, is he going to get caught out? No, it looks like the hook doesn't land, as they are behind him right now. They need to pivot themselves very carefully right now. They need to keep this Vayne alive, as they do walk out. Malphite R comes out. Vayne is not hit though. This is massive for the side of EVO right now. Ultimate's coming out from all the side of Gucci Gaming. It's an absolute brawl. It's an absolute pit, as one player is down on the side of EVO, but the main carries are still up right now. And even the tank as well, as they do reset, as they are looking for the dragon right now. The TP does come back in. It's a 4 versus 5. This is what Gucci Gaming needs.
Oh my god, this game has me on the edge of my seat, at the edge of my... Oh, and it's
Obsidian Bobo looking for Psych. Obsidian is out of position right now, or he just isn't able to do anything in these team fights, as he is trying to look for Drake right now. He's not doing any damage in team fight. Bobo is trying to tank as much as possible. They're trying to take this Drake and get out, and Dragon Soul goes over to EVO, but it's 5 players against 3 right now. We'll have to see if they're able to do anything, as Logog is looking for Ori. Ori does not have a lot to get out, as they do slide. They do get out. It's a close game. Close game.
Breather. A breather right now.
Yeah, we need a breather. We need a breather.
This game is... It's not everything. You're not out of SLE, but if you win, everyone wants to be in the finals. It's a secure spot.
They are trying to get this mid inhibitor here. Yeon is back. We know how much damage Yeon can deal against these tanks right now, as the battle song is put up to try and see if they can catch anyone, but it's looking like no one is here. Vayne is in a very dangerous position. Savonix is looking for a flank here. Savonix is able to get onto Ori. This is going to be a win for Gucci Gaming, but it's just so hard when you have a full team now that can actually peel. We can see Rakan has been taking out the front line, and even with Bobo as well, been doing a real good job at defending this Vayne.
Yeah, and obviously Vayne, look at that. Randoms picked up full build for the Vayne right now. 17k gold, 2k out more than anyone else. Second highest gold obviously is on Trundle, who is almost full build as well. But then another character for EVO on Yeon, on the LeBlanc with 15k gold almost. And Obsidian, earlier in the game, I remember he was down at the bottom when it came to gold, but he made a real big comeback when it came to the gold. And you know, he's up there now, 418. Very nice score from...
EVO is looking up top lane right now. It's looking like Logog has been caught out right now. That is one dead player from the side of Gucci Gaming. This is what EVO needs. This is what EVO is looking for. It's always looking a little bit aggressive onto Jeff right now. Jeff does have ultimate. He decides not to go for it. And they need to look for a fight soon. If they do not look for a fight soon, they will lose the game here. This could be it. This could be the time where EVO take down Gucci Gaming. They get the engage right now. Massive coming out from Kill right now. The ultimate is coming out from Galio. Jeff uses the ultimate, but Ori is untouched. Ori is doing everything for the team. Look at that damage. Yon as well. Dealing massive burst damage against Loco. Loco is so close to dying, but will barely not die from the ignite there. As EVO gets one inhibitor and seems to get out.
Oh my. 41-minute game so far. I think the only issue EVO has here is when they're approaching this the base without Baron. Xayah has very, very good wave clear, right? Obviously, we see Xayah on a stopwatch now as well. I think building up to the Guardian Angel. So Xayah has that survivability in the fight, but yeah, EVO kind of struggles to, you know, push without the waves. Obviously, nicely done getting the pick on Trundle, getting the pick on Malphite, but we will need to wait a few more minutes because I do think they really need the Baron to close this game out.
Savage did just finish the Guardian Angel right now, so he should not die in this team fight very, very fast, because Yeon must be a very scary threat for a Savage to beat. Yeon has 3.5 items complete. That's going to be one dead ADC if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, obviously Elder's on the map now as well. Elder up in 3 minutes, Baron up in 1:50. This is I think this will be going down to Elder, and I think Elder is the one way that Gucci can win this game, because I do think that right now it's very, very EVO-sided, because last fight, Malphite didn't get the angle onto Vayne, but I think even if he did, I don't think it would have been enough, because Vayne just has more than enough mobility.
All flashes for both teams will be coming up, except for Loco on the Thresh, as they do get this bot lane tower. And EVO, they just have so much pressure. Look at the top lane right now, barreling down as all 5 members are on the bot side, trying to get this bot lane tower. We just have to make sure that this Vayne doesn't die. That's all EVO has to worry about.
Yeah, and obviously once the game is coming to these later stages, there's so much. I'm missing words. I'm.
It's understandable after a 42-minute game cast, after 2 incredible games in front of this. I cannot blame you. Remember, the players that get through this will get through to the grand finals. Gucci Gaming or Team EVO, which one will do it? As they are looking for the inhibitor right now. Ori is still untouched. Barely dodging that hook. If that hook landed, as Xion gets a massive burst onto Logog right now. They've got the tower to half HP, as they need to wait for the next wave to try and do anything here. Remember, Logog and Savonix are trying to go to the top side to try and stop this from killing their base right now. As Ori, just look at this damage. This is what a late game Vayne looks like. Has almost full 3k HP. Absolutely insane health coming out from an AD carry right now. This is the power of getting defensive items on an AD carry such as Vayne.
Yeah, Baron also coming up in 10 seconds now, so I think the whole EVO team will be moving up towards the Baron here. Most of the team just is on almost full builds, right? We have 3 items on Viego, we have 4 items on LeBlanc. It is very, very good here for the side of EVO, and they are going to walk this Baron, and the amount of DPS they do have, I think this could be an uncontested Baron for the side of EVO. And Elder also coming up in a minute.
Now they have to decide on the side of Gucci Gaming if they do want to try and contest this, or if they want to get a good position for this Elder Dragon. It's looking like contested is what they want right now. Dion dealing huge damage on the side. Bobo is starting to take a lot of damage right now. Savage is on the side. Massive damage coming out from Savonix right now. But look at this Vayne. Vayne is just still untouched again in these team fights right now. Big ultimates aren't up for the side of Gucci Gaming, except for the Malphite are. If Malphite is able to find a good ultimate in this fight, they can still win this, as Bobo is getting chunked out. He does have healing, or he is on his own though. He is.
Yeah, but look at their base. Look at their base. They need to go to the base. Someone's TPing for the end. I think
we are looking like there may be a backline finish from the side of Bobo, but there is a TP in the backline, and the Malphite is coming back. Jeff is trying to stop this, as they are looking for the Elder Dragon right now. Vayne is not with him. It is 3 versus 0 right now, as we do see Logo jumping up. He is trying to
Loco hit a hook.
He has flash, but we'll have to see if he's able to do anything here, as a hook does land, but it doesn't matter too much. He is here in time. Is he able to steal this? Is he able to find anything? 1k HP, and it goes over to the side of EVO. And if they look for a fight right now, they may be able to end it.
Oh my god. What is happening? What is happening?
We do engage in the bot lane right now, but this is a massive ultimate coming out right now. Vayne is still slightly untouched here as the R comes out right now. Leon is trying to do something. He is stunned up right now. That could be one dead Leon. He is in stopwatch right now. No team is there to defend him. Can he get out? Obsidian getting the stun there. gets his jungle, or sorry, his mid laner to safety, as they are looking for the Baron right now. Vayne can solo this.
That could have been very, very dangerous. You know, Eon was out, but then he popped that stopwatch. I think Obsidian had to go in, had to stun, and use the flash to save his mid laner, because I think if LeBlanc dies there, it could potentially just be game for Gucci Gaming.
I couldn't agree with you more. No, they have started up the Baron. All players from Gucci Gaming are nowhere in sight. They are trying to run here, but I'm not sure they're going to get here in time. I think they realize that they won't be able to get here in time, and they are just going to let them take this Baron. The issue is Elder Dragon is up for another 1 minute 20. If Gucci Gaming fight against this Elder Dragon, they will just lose the fight and lose the game. They need to try and hold out as much as possible. 1 minute 15 left on this Elder and 2 minutes 40 left on this Baron. For this amount of time, just Gucci Gaming just not able to do anything.
And
They're
yeah,
hanging in for dear life. They really are.
as I was saying before, EVO really does need the Baron to, you know, push out, because Xayah wave clear is quite insane. And once they start grouping as 5 here, you know, 50 seconds left on that Elder. Guardian Angel on the Trundle. Trundle is full build now, but that tower on mid is very close to
Does
falling.
land onto Bobo, but it seems like nothing will come of it. Remember, Gucci Gaming was on the cusp of taking this game. The early game was going all their way. They were able to finally make their team comp work. People were saying that their team comp is the weaker comp, but they were just able to make it work. But after a massive fight coming out from Team EVO, they were able to change the pace of the game, able to turn it around to themselves, making it so they can barrel down and take all these inhibitors and maybe even look for the end here. Elder Dragon only has about 30 seconds left. We'll see if they're able to do anything. Baron's lasting for around about 2 minutes left. Yon is getting slightly poked out. This is the damage coming out from Savage. The Savage is only on 4 items right now. He doesn't have as many as Ori, as they are looking for the last inhib. They are looking to finish this game. So
That was very close.
Onto Ori. Ori needs to be careful here. He can still die. He is still an AD carry, you have to remember, as Yeon gets massive damage. That is a tank. Jeff is meant to be a tank, but Yeon says no. You aren't a tank in my eyes, as they are looking for the final tower. They are letting the minions do the job. They're playing this the way you're meant to, as this could be it. This is the final thing they're looking for. The big engage Bobo does get Zhonya's. Yeon has been chunked down right now. But remember, they do still have the ultimates from Jeff. The ultimates from most of the players on the side of Gucci Gaming. As the ultimate comes out, it does hit on the Vayne, but Vayne is able to escape. And it's looking like EVO is trying to re-engage it. Massive damage coming out. Gucci Gaming is dealing huge damage. But look at this Vayne. Vayne, he's going on to Savage right now. Is Vayne able to get killed right now? Jeff is looking to do something. Sonya's are coming out right now as they're trying to go for the back door. Is EVO going to do it? Is EVO, Yeon, and Obsidian able to get the back door? And it looks like they're just able to, with 1 player left. Yeon gets to the grand final. GG.
Oh my god.
What a
I
game,
hope,
huh?
I hope your throat is doing fine after that, because you were just talking for the last 2 minutes, and I appreciate that, because my brain is not working. But what an end from EVO. What a game and what a series from both these teams. It's just phenomenally played. Very nicely played from both teams, especially in game 3 here. EVO getting that early lead, and Gucci Gaming coming back with a comp that was deemed from us personally as you know, casters, that they did have the weaker comp, but it definitely proved us wrong. And yeah, very nicely done from them. And yeah, yeah, so seems like we're back. It was a bit of lag there, but yeah, I think that's it for me and you, Zatlus, when it comes to casting this banger series.
I don't think it could have gone anywhere as good if we didn't have such amazing teams in the SLE. No way we could make anything even hype. But the players, they, brung us a good game, so we tried our best to bring them a good cast.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a pleasure casting with you. It was a really fun experience, really fun series. But I think we will give the mic over to our 2 analysts, Rango and Dutch here, and you know, they can voice their
Yeah, we'll say a quick goodbye now. Thank you, everybody, for watching us. I have been Zapdos. This has been Sadix. It's been an absolute pleasure to cast you. Been an absolute pleasure to be part of the SLE. You will probably, hopefully, see me in the finals. Depends how much Dreadpool likes me, the guy to sort my stuff out. But we will give you over to Dutch and Rengo. Enjoy.
Yeah,
Nice.
thank you very much, Setos and Sanix, and what a banger! Especially last game. Holy shit, that was something else. Back and forth. I mean, there's so much to analyze here to look back onto. But
We have to. It takes like till fucking 12 tonight.
yeah, so everyone get your attendees, get yourself some water, because I expect to have a post game interview in a second as well. So we get some
clips.
we get some clips first, but team comp, like I mean, we said it as well. Low damage on the side of Chi, but they almost had it.
I think if you go to the main point where the game flipped, because the start of the game was again kind of EVO favored, then it was just flip flopping around again. EVO took a big lead, got a 3 Drake lead, and just was snowballing from that. And just the end of the game, like we thought was the end of the game. Around the mid lane, they get inhibitor, they get one pick, and they just keep forcing it, and they all die and funnel a lot of gold in this thing. And from that point, it was
Yeah,
then
definitely.
it was back at that point.
But even then, at that point, I still feel like there were angles for Chi to win there. And but yeah, in general, I think Better Draft won this game. This
I don't. In the end, you would say better draft from EVO, but I think in the end, it was not even the draft that lost them the game, but just merely having a very very big misplay that had very very big repercussions. Because EVO got a Drake with shutdown bounties on it, and they got a lot of gold on their like hyper carry Vayne against tanks, and that's just the way you don't want to see it. They did a great job shutting him down early, so it was just.
Yeah,
If
and
you're perspective of Chi, it's very, very sad that you had to make that one big mistake and get snowballed from that side.
yeah, and for sure, Jeff playing his heart out, right? Jeff picking up everything he could and trying his best, but we don't have any clips yet. So I think we will fast forward towards the interview. Let me see if we get anyone of EVO. Brett is already working on that. But yeah, that pushes us towards the finals, the semifinals of the loser bracket. Yeah, Dutch, you're gonna be playing against Chi. EVO into the finals. Who expected this from a team that got, what was it, fourth in normal split?
I mean, they had a lot of forced FFs in that series in the regular season, to be honest. So
I mean, as well.
they were the only team to take us down, and still the only team to take us down in the entire split. So we kind of knew they had some punching power, but yeah, they are in the grand finals, and we didn't.
Yeah, and well, we've seen, and I mean, man, this was a lot. This game was a lot, from this draft to playing Eon, playing really well in the early game, getting himself ahead into late game, where we see Eon take massive chunks out of the teams. And talking about him, I think we're gonna get him in here. Congratulations, Eon.
Thank you.
So how did you experience that game? Are you like, did your heartbeat calm down already a bit, or?
Hello?
Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, my mic's working again.
Yeah. Okay.
That game, I think it was really intense at the start because it was really close until we kind of got rolled before they made a mistake in our base and Vayne got a double kill. there we kind of chilled out because we were just exchanging waves and playing vision until we just hit both the Baron, and then it was just one-sided to us, really.
I mean, like we said as well, I think that we pointed out that was the flipping point. Before that, they were in full control. After that, Vayne got cold, and you could take a shutdown somewhere else. That was, for our perspective, like the big tipping point in this game as well. I mean, you played it out well in the end, after all, because still against so much engage, you still have to guide it as well. And but my biggest question for you is my Tom, is how did you experience mid lane? Because we as casters, we kind of, and as we kind of pointed out mid lane as the most important part of this game, because you're playing against Sovanix, a very good mid laner, and it was kind of back and forth between those games. How did you experience that lane, and how did you like come into it playing against him?
The first 2 games, I feel like he's a very strong laner, but on the Galio side, it wasn't, because Galio's not like a hyper carry strong side mid laner, right? He's more like, if he's put into a ranged matchup, he's playing weak side. So I opted to go for the longsword, which made it easier to trade against him.
Yeah, was that an
So
accident or actually on purpose?
it was on purpose, yes.
Oh wow.
I was thinking about going Conqueror that game, but I feel like Electrocute would just get more value with my burst damage, since luckily for me they didn't build any MR, right? And the chains on Malphite went on Vayne, which was confusing.
Yeah, I've got my inside information that the Agalio pick was not intentional. They meant to pick Talia, but they couldn't find in the mid lane champion
Oh,
pool.
that's unlucky.
Yeah.
We
What's
thought as
your
well.
future perspective now? Because you had 3 bangers of a game, 3 back of like 2
Well,
back and forth.
The second game was kind of yikes, not gonna lie.
I mean, first game you guys kind of walk over them, but like take the lead past the 20-minute mark and just dominate the game after that. Game 2, you guys got dominated by Gucci, and then game 3, it's just back
It
and
was
forth.
really,
So.
really even, yeah.
Yeah, so looking forward, you might see them again. You might see Vitagen. What do you feel? Who do you want to see? Who do you feel the most confident about, or are you like, bring it on, give me any team and we will beat them?
I feel like Vitagen are a more composed team. They have like a set game plan and go for it. Even you can see it in the draft clearly, and I feel like the finals would be most fun against Vitagen, really.
I hope we get it as well.
I hope we meet up in finals.
Yeah, true. But do you think we as Villaging gonna win against Gucci, or do you think it's gonna be really close or like one side?
I think it's going to be close. It'll be nice to watch, for sure.
I mean, if you have any good questions left, Mr. Rango.
Are we gonna see something spicy? Can you drop like a spicy pick, like a full AP Saya mid or something for that? In the like any little teasers for the finals? Something we have to look out for?
Can't guarantee it, but I might pull out the Kaiser mid.
Hey,
I have one question actually. In comparison to like your regular season and your like previous playoff games, you had a coach back in for drafting. Did it like help a lot or do you think he just put fundamentals there and you guys just drafted a bit worse in the regular season in that way?
I think since we had a different coach for this time drafting our games, it felt a lot like we were playing more comfort picks compared to playing,
The Roser.
yeah, playing with Rosa. But I don't want to blame him. He's a good person. He did get us all together and all.
Of course, not Flame Roser.
But his drafts can be questionable sometimes. But I think he values us like we're masters people that we can play every champ, right? So having our coach right now, he's giving us the comfort picks that we can play that we usually have. We've seen the SLE blog post. We have my LeBlanc there for some reason, which I actually did play this game, and Bobo's Gragas signature picks were both picked on the last game. So that was really something to look out for.
I mean, we kind of acknowledge this as well. You guys, I think, won draft 3 games in a row, and it was a big part as well of why you won in the end. We feel.
Yeah,
So
I agree as well.
that's a shout out to your coach and your draft in general.
it's the massive coach stuff then. But thank you very much, Ian, and best of luck in the finals coming up. And can you promise me one thing?
Can't promise, but go
Can you
ahead.
at least try to make it just as a banger of a series in the finals as this? No matter who you're playing?
I
Because
can't guarantee it. It might be
okay.
a stomp.
But yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
A little
But
bit of
I mean, we are on one game of the scrim this month as practice, so I
Dude,
can't
that's
I can't guarantee anything.
yeah.
But
Well,
we're gonna run it up, I think. Congratulations with the big dub over Gucci Gaming, who's now gonna go to lower bracket finals against Vitagen, and you're just gonna wait and see who you're gonna match up against.
yeah, and with that, I think we are gonna wrap up this banger of a series. With the next game being Vitagen versus Chi. Do you have any estimate when that will be, Dutch? Can you give us a little bit of light, or is it all dark yet?
The game, we hoped we play Gucci in grand finals because we kind of like meshed well together as teams, well, like
Yeah.
chill. But I think for the next week we're not gonna play because people are away. But we're gonna do some prepping against each other. But I think it will be a fun series. With no, I don't. We scrimmed each other lately, so maybe we gave something away against each other. But I think it would be it's gonna be a fun best of 3.
Well, as soon as we know a date, we will keep you guys updated. Please leave a follow so you guys can follow or go join our Discord so you can keep up with the latest news. And thank you guys very much for watching, and thank the teams for casting. Thank Dreadpool for the wonderful production, the spectating, everything, and see you guys next time.